Yo, 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 what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. It's been a few weeks, but I'm back. My schedule's going to be limited for now, and I'll get more into it once people start funneling in. Oh, let me get rid of that echo. Why do I have an echo?
And how it should be managed, but counterterrorism right now in our world is vital.
You have said that,
Where is that?
Department of Justice prosecutors will be prosecuted in the Trump administration. What?
Give me 1 second, guys. Yo, TKE, what's up, man? Give me a second. I gotta figure out why there's an echo.
And why?
I said that on TV. I said prosecutors will be prosecuted to finish the.
Why is there an echo? I don't get it.
Investigators will be investigated.
It's like I'm watching my stream, but I'm not.
To uphold the law.
Oh,
None
maybe
of
I
us
am.
are above the law. Let me give you a really good example of a bad lawyer within the Justice Department.
Test.
A guy named
That was it.
Klein
All right, I fixed it. Sorry about that, guys.
a FISA warrant.
All right, so
One of the most
I'll be playing
important
PoE
things
today. I'm just chilling. I'm gonna watch this
everyone
confirmation
be held
hearing.
to equal
I'm back for now.
system
I
of
have
justice if
I hurt my
the
back,
Attorney
man. So
General
sitting here,
absolutely
I
and
fell
no
over
one
Christmas
is above
break
the
and
law.
fucked my back up. So I've
what circumstances
been to the
will you
doctors.
prosecute journalists
They're trying to figure out what
for
it is,
they
but
write?
I just can't sit in my chair for long periods of time right
I
now.
believe in the freedom of speech. Only if anyone.
Hold on. I'll get into it. Where are you at? Hold on. I gotta fix. Sorry, all my settings are weird right now. I don't know what happened.
This goes back to my entire career.
Yeah,
For
Merry
18
Christmas
years
and
as a
Happy New Year's,
prosecutor
TKE.
and then 8
Yeah, I
years
took a
as
week
Attorney
off for
General.
Christmas, but during that week, I fell
Find
and
the
fucked my
facts of the
back up.
case.
And it was
You
so
apply
bad that
the
I really
law
couldn't sit in the
good
chair
faith,
and do anything.
and
Like,
you
I
treat
couldn't fucking sit
everyone
down.
fairly.
I had to, like, lay down with my feet out. It's still fucked up. I'm still gonna be probably doing shorter streams right now.
A prosecutor to start
But once I get it figured out, we'll be back to normal. I'm not gonna start any new games right now or anything like that. I'm just gonna sit here and chill,
and look for a name,
hang out.
correct?
I'll probably only do like 2 hours, and then
Senator, I think
yeah,
that
we'll
is
just go
the
from there, man.
problem
We're gonna
with
take it day by day
weaponization
right
we've
now.
seen
So,
the last 4 years and what's been happening to Donald Trump.
who was
They
that? I love
targeted
your
Donald
content.
Trump.
Joining the stream.
They
with
went
friends.
after him, actually starting back in
Oh,
2016.
Flofo, thank
They
you.
targeted his campaign.
Thank you for the sub.
They have launched countless investigations.
All right. So
against
anyway,
him.
so what we're watching right now is
That
the
will
Attorney
not be
General
the
hearing.
case if
I
I'm
just
Attorney General. I
they're
will
gonna be
not
really rude to her,
criticize
so I
my
kind of
office.
want to see it.
I
It should
will
be
not
funny.
target people simply
I'm gonna
because
play
of their
PoE while I
political
do that,
affiliation.
and we're just gonna hang out.
Justice will be administered
Might
even
play something else. I don't know. I'm not gonna start any new games yet until I can come back
Senator,
to
we've gotta bring this country
doing
back
full
together.
time. I mean,
We've
we have
got to
Indiana
move forward,
Jones,
or we're
and
gonna
then
lose our
Dynasty
country.
Warriors comes out in about a week.
Concern is that
So we got a few games coming out. So once they start coming out, we'll probably switch to a new game.
may well occur under your tenure.
Oh,
And we want to make sure
fucking
that that's
sitting here
not
fucking
the case,
hurts,
that
man.
you remain independent, that you remain able to and willing to tell the president no when that's necessary to protect the Constitution and the
I'm getting
integrity
old,
of the
TKE,
parliament. So
man. Don't
that's where I'm asking
yeah.
these
Don't get old. It sucks.
questions.
Apparently at 45,
talked
falling
in the
hurts.
meeting about the contacts policy that has prevailed really since Senator Hatch sat in that chair and demanded.
All right,
of
so
Washington Justice
while I've been
Department,
gone,
the administration since
I set my
then,
computer up
the
next to my bed and I just played PoE.
which he corrected.
So we have about 220 hours in PoE now.
There has been a
We
contacts
are
policy
max
of
level.
contacts between the White House.
Hopefully the audio levels are okay. The audio levels were all screwed up this morning. I haven't listened to the stream to test it yet. So
If you are confirmed, will you maintain, defend, and enforce that long-standing contacts policy?
Senator, yes, I will meet with White House counsel.
all right, let me
and I
stop. I'm
will
gonna.
meet with the appropriate officials.
I don't know why it's not
and
playing on your screen. That's
follow
weird.
The contacts policy.
My time has expired. Thank you.
Oh, it's because it was closed. Okay.
Amazing.
Testimony is music.
What the hell
to
just
my
happened?
ears.
Thank you.
Amazing.
One of the things that I have
Wow.
been most concerned about over the last
Wow.
certainly the last
Can I
few
not
years in
play it at the
standing
same time? That's really
during
weird.
President Trump's administration is the weaponization and politicalization of the Department of Justice, which together with the FBI is one of the most important institutions in this country.
I hate Democrats. Fucking hate them.
If people don't
I think
trust
he's not. He's a fucking
that
Republican.
their elected officials will
All right.
faithfully
Let me
enforce
see
the
if I
law
can try to do it like this.
or administer equal justice under the law. They've lost
Oh yeah, there it
faith in
goes.
America.
It's still playing. All right.
That disturbs me greatly.
We are gonna start running keys. I just need to farm, man. I need to farm a bunch of shit. My fucking I'm trying to switch gear, but what I found at max level, man, switching gear is a pain in the dick. Just because you have to keep your resiliences or your resistances up. And every time I switch gear, my resistances get all fucked up.
One of the biggest
So we have to play with this.
public safety disasters in American history. Senator Cruz and I represent a state
Fucked up
with
your feet.
1,200 miles of common
Walking
border
the
with
streets
America.
for a while, being
But
tired
as you
as fuck.
pointed
Once I
out,
ride on the
out
feet.
with fentanyl, what
Your
happens if
feet
the
are
border doesn't
amazing
stay
now.
at the border?
They
Fentanyl poisoning is the most common.
All right,
cause
let's
of
see.
death
Okay, so
among
I
young
was trying to
between
fix my
18
fucking
and
gear.
45.
I
We know
don't.
where it comes from.
My problem is right now my lightning resistance is fucked, and I have way too much fire and cold, so I need to switch shit around.
Pills and take them and die. It's just that simple and that tragic. So there's just so much that we could talk about.
I need boots with better movement speed, man. The movement speed suck on these fucking
You know,
boots.
I know people voted for President Trump in large part because of his promise to restore security at the border. Will you do everything within your power as Attorney General to enforce the laws on the border,
Oh man.
including the President's executive orders, which I anticipate he will be
Fuck.
signing
I need to get lightning
on
and
January the
cold.
20th when he is sworn in, and help
So boots. I need to switch boots. I need fire resistant boots. I need to just buy boots until I get fire resistance.
Yes, Senator, absolutely.
One example is, of course, if you come here to the from anywhere in the country,
Yeah,
show
I
up
gotta switch
at the
boots.
border under the Biden and Harris administration policies, you'll simply be released.
I should buy them, but it takes such a pain in the ass to use the fucking store in this game.
On a trial date, which may never occur.
The store in this game, you have to go to a separate website, go to the store, find the item you want, click the button, it messages the person in the game, and then you gotta go fucking meet up with the person in the game. It's really... World of Warcraft's fucking auction system is so much better. Alright, let's see. We need boots. How much money do we... 400k.
On a categorical basis, or anybody who shows up, or because they don't have
Fire
detention
resistance.
facilities
But no...
to keep them.
no speed. Also low level.
Would be alive today if President Biden and Vice President Harris had enforced the law and secured the border.
Senator, he should not have been in our country. And then Laken Riley would.
Oh, here we
alive,
go.
And I don't think it's just Laken Riley.
Damn, man, this is it. This is what we need right here, but we need that with
It's not
fucking...
our country.
with
It's not
fucking
only that,
speed.
we're all familiar with the
We
violent
never get
gangs
fucking
who are
speed.
coming into our country, walking into our country freely through the open border. The cartels.
He won the election, but he's not president yet. He becomes president January 20th. So you win the election, and then there's a transition period. So he'll get sworn in on Monday, and then he's officially president. And shit's about to get wild. About to make this fucking country safe again.
Everything in my power with the agencies that fall under me.
It says fire resistance and movement speed, but it's low level.
Safe again. We have to do that, Senator.
Well, many of us, of course, see classified information on the Intelligence Committee or this general.
I just don't fuck, man.
As a senator, and so you're not going to feel any better about the blinking lights, the danger that Director Ray has talked about. In my
These are
closing
fire,
moments,
but I just need... Okay, let's...
an issue that is of particular importance. 60% of the president's daily brief, which is the intelligence brief that the Director of National Intelligence and the CIA Director delivered to the president, comes from Section 702. Of the
22
Foreign
life
Intelligence
gen per
Surveillance
second. Okay, that's not bad. We just don't have movement, which is what we need, movement
Never
speed.
heard of. I know you have. And you
I
have
don't...
but I wanna ask
Fuck,
you
man.
A few questions about that.
I only have one exalted orb, too. We can't really do this. I need to farm. Fuck.
And of course, it cannot be used, legally used, to spy on American citizens. And if it is,
I just don't know how to get fire damage.
extent of the law. I know you would agree with
I
that.
could go with armor, too, but
But there have been
Armor with fire
as you know,
resistance on it.
and as you pointed out to Senator Graham, we have a temporary extension of the existing authorization for the use.
Yeah,
of
America's been fucked. But the problem with America being fucked is when America's fucked, the whole world's kind of fucked. It's fucking
that
stupid.
expires in 2026. And I'd like you just to
Fuck,
confirm
man.
that
The
there
gear
are
in this game is really hard to deal with,
enforce
man.
that
It's
law, and you can support the law as it is written.
Senator, I haven't read the entire 702
Oh,
in front of you, but
I don't care about
will
that shit.
commit
The quality
to
on it.
reading that and doing everything I can to keep America safe again.
Of course you will. So,
Keeping
Director
those two,
Ratcliffe
keeping
is gonna
those.
I'm going to go to his hearing on for CIA director. Of course, he was confirmed as director of national intelligence. Some have argued that in order to query or look at lawfully collected FISA 702 product, that you need.
Why does that have such low
warrant
fire
in order to
resistance?
show
So weird.
probable cause that a crime, including espionage, perhaps has been committed. But Director Ratcliffe has written that a warrant requirement may not achieve its intended objectives and could hinder national security efforts. Do you share Director Ratcliffe's concerns?
I would read his memo, and I will speak to you after I read his memo, Senator.
Well, we need to have
Yeah, I lose my fire resistance if I get rid of that. I'm really fucked on resistances right now. My gear is just fucked.
I think there's a lot of
Like, I just can't move anything. Like, if I move anything, I can't fix it. I don't have the stuff to fix it. It's the only problem I found with this game, man. It's just fucking gear is fucking disaster in game.
I think what's fundamentally
You never get what you need. Like, you're forced to use the auction house. I don't want to use the auction house.
which I'm hoping you and Mr. Patel can restore. Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Klobuchar.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to get my fire
We
resistance
had a
from.
good meeting this week. Thank you for that. And
I hate this
appreciated
bitch.
your
Amy,
priorities
is that
on
Amy-
human
is that
trafficking
Amy?
that you mentioned
She's a fucking-
today, that
ugh.
work, as well as
She's a fucking Democrat.
fentanyl, and some of your other prosecution experience. We had some similar backgrounds in doing that. And I want to talk about, first of all, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota, one of the premier offices in the country.
I need fire. I need to get rid of cold and lightning. This is all resistance. This has 30% fire. Can't get rid of it. This doesn't have anything on it. This has cold and lightning, so this is the one I need to swap for fire.
Do you agree that it should be a priority?
But I need
to
movement
support
speed.
US attorneys, frontline prosecutors, and case agents who work hard every single day on our streets?
Senator, I think that is one of the most important things in our country right now. And there are so many good men and women within the Justice Department throughout our country.
So if I swap
as
to-
well as all the law enforcement agencies. Yes, they work very hard and they will be supported.
I'm
Where does that
concerned
put
about some of
everything?
the proposals that could put cuts in the cops program.
It's not that dangerous. I mean, there's certain areas that are dangerous for sure. Like, I mean, certain cities and yeah, but for the most part, because of the size of this country,
Support those programs.
it's not too bad.
Senator, I will read everything about those programs because that is a top priority.
It's a big country. You got to remember, we got
And I would
400
love to
million
work with you
people, or
on that
350
and
million
Senator
people
Murkowski to
almost.
support law enforcement and those programs.
Thank you. Independence.
Now my
from political
lightning's too
interference
low.
is vital, to the legitimacy
I can't, like, I hate it. I can't switch any of my gear. It's
I was
fucking
honestly
dumb.
troubled by some of the answers.
So I have to put this ring back.
We will
That
continue that
I'm
discussion
still too short on fire.
about the election, but I want to focus on the investigation.
I'm literally gonna have to go
charging
off stream and just
decisions.
buy
As a
fucking gear.
prosecutor, I'm sure you had this experience. I would get calls from
I don't want to do it all on stream. It's a pain in the ass. Takes forever.
And I remember one answer I gave was, "He's 40 years old. He's not a kid." But that kind of interference is.
All right, we're gonna farm, guys. I got it.
Concerns here, whether
I gotta
it's a
farm
call
with
from
this.
A friend, a corporate lobbyist, a White House. It has been very clear that the attorney generals of both parties have established clear policies to ensure the White House doesn't tamper with criminal investigations and prosecutions. At Attorney General Mike McCasey's hearing, he made clear that any attempt by the White House, and these are the words, to interfere with the case is not to be countenanced, any call to a line assistant or to a United States attorney from a political person relating to a case is to be cut and curtailed. Do you agree with this statement?
Senator, yes, I believe that the Justice Department must be independent and must act independently. The number one job is to enforce the law fairly and even-handedly, and that's what will be done if I am confirmed.
Oh, I watched a video on Mecca last night. Yeah, it was just like a tour. It was like a video tour. That goddamn clock tower is fucking insane, man. Very low crime, but not as low as El Salvador. So we have our crime index is 330. So we have 330 crimes per 100,000 people. Mecca's crime index was 17. So y'all only have 17 crimes per 100,000 people. El Salvador has a 1.7. It is the lowest crime index in the world. They have one, I guess, round up, 2 crimes per 100,000 people, which is crazy. Because 5 years ago, it was the most dangerous country in the world. My wife's father lives there. It's fucking... That country's doing really well right now. Alright. What do we need? We need... Shit, we had a farm. Let's...
As, quote, the biggest problem the FBI has had.
Let's make an 11. And we'll do an 11. I've been doing 14s and 15s, but I don't have any. Waystones haven't been dropping, which is super annoying.
But we have to do everything we can to protect our country. Again, Mr. Patel.
Alright, I think we're going to drop a Val Orb on this and just boost it up. Orb Alchemy? Maybe not. Let's just do this. Because we just need to get...
That can be made. While I agree you would be the boss of Kash Patel, I'm not sure that you would be able to intervene with every decision or position that he had or know what he's doing. So let's continue. Do you agree it is the duty of the Justice Department to defend the laws Congress passes?
I love that she doesn't even need the Democrats' votes. It doesn't matter. Their votes are irrelevant, and it's fucking hilarious. Because she already has the votes to get in. This is just fucking show.
William French Smith said the department policy was the department has the duty to defend an act of Congress.
It's kind of crazy that politics has become like a soap opera in the United States, man. Like, the shit they say is so fucking wild.
That we passed to empower Medicare to negotiate drug prices, major savings for seniors. Will you commit to defend the law against the lawsuits from Big Pharma?
Senator, I was involved in Big Pharma cases when I was Attorney General of the state of Florida, and I will commit to protect the laws of the United States of America.
Okay, thank you. That would also, same question, with the Supreme Court is going to be hearing a challenge to the Affordable Care Act's coverage of preventative services. And despite the fact that you twice joined suits to have the entire Affordable Care Act invalidated, will you commit to defending this law?
Yeah, I believe this is very different. It's a very isolated, it's different. It's not the entire Affordable Care Act, but I will, it's pending litigation, of course, within the department.
Since 19...
Why can't I heal? Why can't I heal? Why can't I heal?
Clinic Entrances Act has protected patients, providers, and
I'm dead. I'm dead. What the fuck is happening?
Health services.
Why am I not healing?
Will you commit to continuing to enforce the FACE Act to address...
I have no idea what just happened. That is, I'm 200 hours in, and I've never
Senator,
seen that
the FACE
before.
Act not only protects...
I was thinking of you yesterday. I was thinking, where the fuck... I posted something in the community tab, man. I expected to come back, like, you know, right after New Year's, but my back, man, I just... Like, right now, it hurts like a motherfucker just to sit here. I don't know what just happened.
Of the law, Senator.
Okay, and
what did I fuck up?
Antitrust questions in the next round.
I've never died to lightning that fast, so I don't know what killed me. Is there a way to see what killed you?
Incredibly important work that has to be done in that division. So,
Gun surgeon out of mana. Gun surgeon has been slain, but doesn't. You can't see how you died, which is super fucking annoying.
Before I call on Senator Lee, I want everybody to plan on.
Like, I don't.
First break would be about 11.
I have no idea what fucking killed me.
Would be 30 minutes for lunch. Senator Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ms. Bondi, for being here today.
I don't know. I don't know what just fucking happened.
It was great. Had a great meeting with her yesterday. and just thrilled that you're here, that you're willing to serve.
I mean, I was an 11. That wasn't even a hard. I have 75% lightning resistance.
And one who's handled a variety of criminal matters about the Fourth
What the
Amendment.
fuck
What
just
can you
killed
tell us
me?
about the Fourth Amendment's warrant requirement and why it's so important?
There's no way that
Requirement is
that
so
recovery
important. I've
rate
dealt
was
with
so bad
accidents
that I
in my
couldn't
20s
heal.
As a state prosecutor, a warrant is so important because it protects
That's-
citizens' rights, and that's why
That's
it's so
pretty
important.
fucking wild,
It
what just
does that
happened.
specifically because under the Fourth Amendment, you're required to go to a judge, and you're required to show a judge evidence.
The end game in this game can be very, very
Based on that
frustrating.
probable cause, you can describe with particularity the things or persons to be searched or seized. And on that basis, the
I
judge
just
will
you
issue
die
not
from
issue
stupid
warrant,
shit.
but
You lose.
without
Like
you
I'm
can't get it. Now, this
I'm
is time-consuming,
pretty
no doubt,
decently
right?
geared, and I can still get one
I've
shot
done many
so
of them,
fucking
yes.
easily.
They're time-consuming, so
How did it not? I just hit identify
Law
items and it
enforcement
didn't
officer
identify the items.
anywhere in the world who wouldn't acknowledge that they could save time if they didn't have to go about it, and yet we require it. Why is that so important that we do it?
Alright.
Well, it's so important for the reasons you just laid out. When I said I've done many of them, I've approved
Sitting
them
here sucks.
and not approved them as a state prosecutor, because law enforcement, there are checks and balances,
Sorry,
and law
guys, I gotta
enforcement
fucking
must bring
adjust.
these warrants to prosecutors to see if there is sufficient
All right.
evidence. Then after that's done, they have to
I
take
don't
them
care
to a
about the
judge
sockets.
to have a judge
Get rid of
sign them.
this.
So there have to be sufficient checks and balances throughout our system.
Hey, well, no. It's a bug. Or I don't know if it's a bug. It might be meant to be. I don't know. But I guess we will never know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if the recovery. It said life recovery rate reduced, but it didn't say that fucking flash recovery rate was reduced. Unless those are the same thing. I've never had that happen before. I don't. Not like that.
Many times at all hours throughout the night, and woken up many judges throughout the state of Florida.
Is there an exception to the warrant requirement that exists anytime it would be inconvenient for prosecutors or anytime national security might be involved?
I'm not certain about national security, but absolutely no for a state prosecutor.
Right. Yeah, there's
No exception.
there's no catch-all exception that just says this is important or it would be inconvenient for the prosecutor, and with good reason. We've learned through sad experience over many hundreds of years, not only in our own country, but also in that of our mother country, what happens when you don't have this in the loop. So you've been asked today a little bit about Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, also known as FISA. There are those who have repeatedly assured members of this committee, including myself, that don't worry, content of phone calls or electronic communications involving American citizens, sometimes resulting in the quote-unquote incidental
Oh, we're getting a lot of exalted ones. That's nice. That's the second one.
Conversations. Don't worry, their Fourth Amendment rights are just fine. And yet, when they incidentally collect the communications of American citizens, either because they're perhaps unwittingly talking to somebody who might be an agent of a foreign power and themselves under 702 surveillance, they get onto this big database. And at times, there are those in the government, including the federal.
You can
Bureau of
usually farm
Investigation,
fairly
who
quick. I mean, we do
have
decent
documented that
DPS.
database.
The only thing we got to watch is we get one shot. I think it has to do with the bug. There's a bug with armor.
This has the
So, Mercenary uses armor and evasion. I don't know how it exactly calculates your fucking your armor, but it uses both of those. And evasion, I think, works fine, but I think armor's broken right now.
Or otherwise, they ought not be searched without some kind of probable cause showing. I assume you'd agree with me.
Yes.
Yeah, it's important. Sometimes people will defend that by saying national security is involved, as if that's the beginning and the end of the inquiry. That has never been the case.
We don't
And
get
I
any
hope
of the
and
gear
pray it never will
drops
be
we
the
need,
case,
man.
because
We
that's not
very
what
rarely
the
get gear
law says,
drops.
Not what it does, not what it never can be. So it's my sincere hope that the next time FISA 702 comes up for reauthorization,
You know, looking forward to Dynasty Warriors. It looks pretty good. It's got decent. There's some people with pre-release reviews. It's getting decent pre-release reviews.
People who, if you're confirmed to this
I think it comes out next week, so we may play that starting next week.
position to which you've been nominated and to which Mr. Patel has been
I mean, we may still be limited a little bit on how many hours I can sit here, but at least we can start a new game.
Don't worry, it's as good as a warrant requirement. The internal
What else we have? We have something else coming out too. Dynasty Warriors.
And yet we found out time and time again that this
Something
has
else coming
happened,
out. What the hell is the other game?
by some accounts, hundreds of thousands of times. These things have been accessed where searches for an American citizen's private communications
Dynasty
that
Warriors
have been intercepted and
and
stored through incidental collection have been searched without those safeguards.
Civ 2
being
comes
met,
out.
including
Civ 2,
instances where
Civ
people
7.
just wanted to check on, to cite one example.
There's another game. Oh,
whether
Kingdom
his
Come
father
Deliverance
was
2
cheating on
comes
his
out
mother,
soon.
or
I think we're
in
going to play
other
that
instances,
too.
doing background checks on someone looking to lease an apartment that he owned and was looking to rent out. This is unacceptable, and we've got to fix it. Speaking of unacceptable, we have seen over the last few years the weaponization of government, specifically within the Department of Justice, against law-abiding Americans. Law-abiding Americans whose offense was something along the lines of, them exercising their constitutional rights, ranging from Catholics attempting to practice their faith.
Oh shit, he's going to go in on Democrats.
Showing up to school board meetings, to people showing up to engage.
He's a Republican.
peaceful protesting
He's literally
outside
talking about how the Democrats weaponized the
Attorney
Department of
General, how would
Justice.
you prevent the weaponization of the Department of Justice against Americans?
And Senator, you just gave the classic example of what's been happening regarding the weaponization. Going after parents at a school board meeting has got to stop. For practicing your religion, sending informants in to Catholic churches must stop.
What about branding parents as domestic terrorists or trying to incarcerate one political opponent as a sitting president of the United States?
Will stop. Must stop. Your senator.
That is exactly the sort of answer I was hoping and expecting to receive from you, and I look forward to doing everything I can to help get you confirmed. I've been pleased with your answers thus far. I've enjoyed knowing you, considering you a friend for many years, and look forward to the great things you will do as Attorney General of the United States.
Man, they weren't trying to die.
Support and my vote.
They were not trying to die.
Senator Coons.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, Attorney General Bondi.
Oh, I want to switch. There's another build I want to try that uses lightning and galvanic shards, but I can't. I got the gear, man. I got to get the gear together for it. It's so fucking expensive to try to gear up in this game. Like, this game, it doesn't respect your time. They're grinding. I think it might be because it's pre-release and we're in.
I understand we will not see eye
shit.
to eye on some.
I think it's because it hasn't released yet and we're in early access, and maybe they'll up some of the drops, but
fighting the opioid epidemic.
I don't know. I didn't play PoE 1, so I don't know
And supporting law enforcement.
if they have a history of making it so currency drops so rarely or not.
Ensuring
Like, because you
that
need
the
exalted
justice
orbs, you
remains
need
free from partisan or political influence.
divine orbs, and I've only gotten 2 divine orbs in 200 hours.
Our discussion about that today.
And I mean,
As
I get
Attorney General,
exalted,
it's
but not many. 1 or 2 a map. Like, it would take forever to get the
My oath
200
will be
you
to
need to get
support and
something.
defend the Constitution of the United States of America. The people of America would be my client. And it is also my job to advise the president. My client are the people of America.
A simple question of constitutional interpretation. Is President-elect Trump eligible to run for another term as president in 2028?
No, Senator, not unless they change the Constitution.
Thank you. One of the concerns I've raised with you is safeguarding the Department of Justice's independence in the face of some promises on the campaign trail by then candidate Trump that he would use the department to target his political adversaries, or that he might interfere.
Oh,
with
she's about to go
prosecution.
in.
What would you do if
Yes,
your career
you should fucking-
DOJ prosecutors
yes.
came to you with a case to prosecute, grounded in the facts and law, but the White House directs you to drop the case?
Senator, if I thought that would happen, I would not be sitting here today.
Oh, that wasn't the question I was expecting.
That will
It
not
was
happen.
off.
Will not happen.
She needs to go after the people that went after Trump.
Every case
She has
will
to.
be prosecuted
She has to prosecute
based on
those
the
people.
Facts and the law that is applied in good faith. Period. Politics have got to be taken out of the system.
I
This
agree with
department
you.
has been weaponized for years and years and years,
But let
and
me,
it has
if
to
I
stop.
might, thank you. Let me, if I might, Madam Attorney General, refer you back to Senator Durbin's opening comments about previous attorneys general, our former colleague Jeff Sessions, Bill Barr. I don't think it's credible to say that it may never happen, that the president-elect would direct an unethical or illegal act. I think both of those attorneys general found themselves crosswise with the then president by doing things he didn't welcome or approve of. Just answer the question for me, if you would. I know you may not expect that. I know you wouldn't have accepted this nomination if you thought it possible. But let's imagine that once again...
No, don't answer a hypothetical. Don't answer a fucking hypothetical for these people.
Or to the FBI director that is outside the boundaries of ethics or law. What will you do?
Senator, I will never speak on a hypothetical.
Thank you.
Especially
Thank you.
one saying that the president would do something illegal.
Fucking
what I can
fuck
tell
Democrats,
you is
bro.
my duty, if confirmed as the Attorney General, will be to the Constitution and the United States of America.
Hey, TKA, have you been watching the fires in LA?
That I will take.
The failure in leadership that's causing that entire fucking city to burn to the ground?
I hope you can understand the importance.
I still don't know how much. I haven't watched the news in like the last 24 hours, so I don't know if they've even contained them yet. They might still be burning.
It has a long tradition of
I believe Black Myth
special
Wukong DLC will come out in February.
high
Dude, once the full DLC comes out,
If you got credible
we're definitely going to run through the new DLC. I haven't gone back and done the boss rushes yet. I need to do it, but I want some actual content, like the boss rushes or whatever.
That's a hypothetical. I can tell you what I do know is special prosecutors have been abused in the past on both sides. We have seen that for many, many years. They have cost the taxpayers countless dollars, countless. And I will
Alright,
look
come
at
on.
each situation
It's
on
taking a long time to
case-by-case
get through this
basis
for some reason.
and consult the appropriate
Why aren't this dude
ethics
dying?
officials within the department to make that decision.
Attorney General, do you think special counsels need to be confirmed by the Senate?
Yeah, I think so.
I will follow the law
Le-
and I will consult
Wait,
with the
special-
appropriate ethics officials regarding the law. Right now, they do not need to be Senate confirmed, of course.
But you did sign an 11th Circuit brief arguing that they should be.
I will follow
That
the
does
law.
chaos
That's right.
damage. I want a bow
Understood.
that does chaos. I need a
I was just getting
crossbow
to the
though.
clarity about the difference between a position you've advocated and what the current law is. Thank you for that. Look, bluntly, to me, refusing to answer a hypothetical when there is clear and concrete previous history raises some concerns for me.
We don't
I
care.
think Chris Wray
We don't
has done
care.
an
Guess
outstanding
what?
job as FBI director.
We fucking have the votes. We don't need Democrat votes. This is all fucking show party.
He was chosen by President Trump. He's being driven out so that he can be replaced.
He needs to be driven out. He's a piece of shit that almost got the Trump assassinated and won't give any information on the fucking shooter. Fuck Chris Wray. Y'all gonna find out that I'm over the last couple of weeks, man. Fuck the Democrats, bro. I've become way more vocal about the shit. Like I don't care anymore. They're pieces of shit. Like fuck them.
And was then dismissed.
I don't usually talk about politics because I don't want to alienate viewers, but I don't give a fuck anymore.
Ethics and the law, you'd be willing to resign if ordered to do something improper.
Thought about starting political commentary on my fucking channel.
I wouldn't work at a law firm. I wouldn't be a prosecutor. I wouldn't be Attorney General. If anyone asked me to
Jesus
do
Christ,
something
I'm not dying.
improper and I felt I had to
No
carry it out,
waystones. We haven't got a
of course
single
I
fucking
would not
waystone,
do that.
man.
That's one of the main things you learn when you're a young prosecutor is to do the right thing. And I believe that has continued with me throughout my very long career.
As we discussed, protecting American invention and innovation, American intellectual property, is a real concern of mine and several others on this committee. I look forward to talking with you about that pressing concern. But the most important question I have for you today is whether you will be willing and able to stand up to politicization and interference in the Department of Justice. And I look forward to further clarification from you about the specifics of that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Senator.
Senator Cruz would be next, but he's not here, so I call on Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Bondi, welcome. Congratulations.
Oh, fuck, if we don't get it, we're gonna get knocked down another level if we don't get waystones soon.
That legitimacy
Went from running 14s and 15s to running 10s.
to America's criminal justice system.
Yes, Senator.
Can we
Problem is we don't get no XP. It takes forever to get XP from these.
legitimacy is important to the Department of Justice, which in part administers our criminal justice system?
Yes, Senator.
if Americans come to believe
See, we fucked him
that
up.
our criminal justice system
How many enemies are left? 50 or more.
or our Department of
Alright, let's go
Justice
farm the rest of these enemies real quick.
is acting illegitimately, that makes Americans less likely to accept the results of the system, does it not?
Yes, Senator.
And that makes Americans less likely to follow the substantive laws that we pass, that are administered by the Department of Justice. Isn't that true?
Yes, Senator.
And if that happens, we have chaos, don't we?
Chaos.
And the social contract is
There we go.
isn't it?
Yes.
Alright. We fucking don't get shit we need ever.
Do you remember a person by the name of Michael Avenatti?
Yes.
Several years ago, he was a media star here in Washington.
An attorney, correct?
Yes. He was a media star. And many members of our media loved him because he persistently bashed Donald Trump.
Oh, one monster left. I'm
and
not
he
going
was
to
on
search for
TV
him. Let's get out of here.
He was on CNN more than Wolfowitz. Do you know where Mr. Avenatti is today?
I believe he's
Bro,
sitting
fucking,
in prison.
it's
He's in
crazy.
jail. Because he
Yeah, it's
was a
crazy. The
crook.
fires there are insane. And crazy because it's 100% preventable. Never had to happen. Like 100% preventable. Complete failure in leadership. No water and hydrants. Fucking reservoirs weren't full. Like, just during high fire season too. Just absolute failure on every fucking level. They should be criminally charged. The leaders there for negligence. And of all things, they pay the highest taxes in the entire country, and had the least amount. Like, bro, if our city caught on fire, they could put it out. We're not gonna lose water.
The tides.
Like, that'll never happen. Never lost
So
water
smart
here.
and so powerful and so
Like, it's crazy. That's just a failure in city leadership, failure in state leadership.
with serious people
Anybody that thinks otherwise is just deflecting.
like Tony Blair, looking like a sloth.
Motherfuckers trying to blame arson on climate change is fucking hilarious
looking
too.
like
32% lightning
runner-up
resistance.
to a John Belushi lookalike contest.
Not
And he
great,
thought
not
it was cute.
horrible.
Where's
Yeah.
Mr. Bankman-Fried today?
I believe he is in prison, and I believe that's from the Netflix series I saw as well.
Because he's a crook.
You're talking about fucking the FTX guy.
And who helped put him there?
The Department of Justice, Senator.
Can we agree that there's some really, really good men and women at the Department of Justice?
Many, many great men and women in the Justice Department as well, Senator, as all the law
All
enforcement
right, we got an
agencies
11. Oh, it's a
fall
9. Fuck.
within the Department of Justice.
And a 4.
They're out there
That's
risking
just
their lives,
junk.
especially the law enforcement officers.
Got
every
4
single
exalted
day.
orbs though. That was nice.
Agree, though, that there,
But we need waystones. We don't need
there
exalted
have
orbs.
been, and may be today, some bad people at the Department of Justice.
Yes, Senator.
We don't know for sure because for the last 4 years, the curtains there have been tightly drawn.
Okay, let's. I
But
don't want to waste
think
it. What did I do? That's not
A
the right place.
minority of people there have delegitimized
Oh,
America's
y'all can't
criminal
see,
justice.
but bro, I don't have much. You can't see my currency right now, but I have 2 alchemy orbs, 3 regal orbs, 5 exalted orbs, 2 divine orbs, and 1 val orb. And I got 3 chance orbs, but I don't have the. I need to do it to a sapphire ring or a necklace, and I don't get the. I haven't seen any like normal shit in forever, so I think I have to go farm like old like lower level content.
to criminally prosecute a former
I guess we're just gonna do another 10 and see if we get something.
And not only that, this is
Well, we could
this
do an
is the
11, but
special
then-
part. He decided to do it.
Yeah, I
after
think
the
I'm gonna
former
wait. I'm
president
just gonna-
of the United States had announced that he was going to run against
All right, let's try
Attorney
this.
General Garland's boss, didn't he?
Senator, are you referring to going after a political opponent?
I think so. Now, this is one person's opinion. That kind of stupid takes a plan. And I say that because, number one, this is America. That had never happened before in America. That's the sort of thing that happens in a country whose Powerball jackpot is 287 chickens and a goat. It doesn't happen here. And I call it stupid because it broke the seal. It broke the seal. It normalized it. There are a lot of ambitious prosecutors in America, Democrat and Republican. And I'll bet you right now there's some prosecutor in a particular state thinking about, well, maybe I ought to file criminal charges against President Biden's inner circle for conspiring to conceal his mental decline. And that's the road we're headed down. And you've got to fix it, counsel. You've got to fix it. And here's what, in my judgment, what I would ask
What
you
the
to do.
fuck is shooting me with that laser?
Find out who the bad guys are and the bad women and get rid of them. Find out who the good people are and lift them up. But do it on the basis of facts.
Jesus
and
Christ, man.
evidence And fairness.
Not sure what
Because
that
the
was about.
temptation
That fucking
of
laser
some
guy.
people
What
is
the
going
fuck
to
was he
be,
shooting me with? Another exalted orb.
they're going to tell you, look, two wrongs
Getting more
don't make a
exalted orbs
right,
today than I've gotten in a hot minute.
But they do make it even. Don't resist that temptation.
Oh yeah, the one guy I saw a guy talking on
Thank you, Senator.
YouTube, and he has a $27 million house he was renovating. Because they don't have fire insurance, they're gonna get $3 million. That's what the insurance company is gonna give them. So they lost $24 million in that fire, not including all their belongings and everything else.
Having been one myself, but I am, have to say also, really troubled, deeply disturbed by some of your responses and non-responses to the question that you've been asked today. You say the right thing, that you're going to be the people's lawyer. That's what you have to say to be here.
This Democrat's a piece of shit. Fuck this guy.
I believe being the people's lawyer means you have to be able to say...
I want to see that entire party
to the President
annihilated.
of the United States. You have to speak truth to power. You have to be able to say that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election.
Don't
You
say
got
that. Fuck them. They cheated.
When you were asked directly by Senator Durkin.
Don't say it.
You have to be able to say that
That's the first investigation we're
January
opening
6th
in when that bitch gets in.
committed violence shouldn't be pardoned. You have to be able to say that a nominee for the FBI director who says he has an enemy list, and that's just the beginning of what he has said in terms of
Yeah, because y'all are the fucking enemies. You should have an enemies
deeply
list.
weaponizing the FBI against political opponents.
Good.
That he shouldn't be.
He shouldn't weaponize it, but he should go after the criminals that went after Trump.
You know, we have some history here with your predecessors. Barr, Sessions,
Still not getting
and
any fucking
others
waystones, man.
who
We have like an 80% increase in chance to get them too, so I don't know what the fuck's going on.
they would say no, but they were.
It sucks because I can't get XP, bro. I can't level anymore until I get higher fucking waystones.
His personal attorney. Do you really think that you can avoid the disgrace that they encountered or the repercussions from the White House if you say no to the president? And so my question to you is, can you say no to the president of the United States when he asks you to do something unethical or illegal?
Senator, first I need to clarify something that you said, that I have to sit up here and say these things. No, I don't. I sit up here and speak the truth. I'm not going to sit up here and say anything that I need to say to get confirmed by this body. I don't have to say anything. I will answer the questions to the best of my ability and
Let
honestly.
me ask you, an individual who says that he is going to, quote, come after, end quote, people he alleges,
He should.
quote,
Dude, just
helped
tell him.
Biden rig the presidential elections, is that he has a list of people who are part of this deep state who should be prosecuted.
Yeah.
That he's
Dude,
going to
say
close
it.
down
Please say it.
the FBI building on his first day in office. Is that a person who appropriately...
I can't
should
wait
be
to see his
FBI?
fucking confirmation here. It's
Are
going to be
those
great.
comments inappropriate? Shouldn't you disavow them and ask him to recant them?
Senator, I am not familiar with all those comments. I have not discussed those comments with Mr. Patel. What I do know
Well,
is
I'm
Mr.
asking
Patel,
you for your
excuse me, what I do know is Mr. Patel was a career prosecutor. He was a career public defender, defending people. And he also has great experience within the intelligence community. What I can sit here and tell you...
Damn it, pick it up. Why is it? Oh my God, bro. I was trying to click that tower and it was not working.
And if I am confirmed, he will follow the law. If I am the Attorney General of the United States of America...
Oh, they 100% cheated in that election. That's why they're so worried about him going after people, because they know they fucking cheated.
The response that I would have hoped to hear from you is that those comments are inappropriate and that you will ask him to disavow or recant them.
No,
when he
fuck
comes before
these
this
guys.
committee,
They're criminals.
because they are indeed
He's probably one of the people that was involved. That's why he's fucking saying it.
fair enforcement and the rule of law. Let me ask you on another topic.
Oh, we gotta go dump gear real quick.
When we met, I welcomed your support for the goals of the Kids Online Safety Act. And Senator...
Yeah, they're worried about that 2020 election because they cheated. And Kash Patel is like, I'm coming after the people that did it. That's why they're worried about it, because they are the people that did it.
1 to 3, 72 co-sponsors, including Vice President-elect Vance. I appreciated our discussion and your support for protecting kids online when we met last week. I'm hopeful that this area is one where we can work together. Can we count on your support in working together to protect kids online?
Senator, absolutely, and thank you for that legislation, and Senator Blackburn. I believe in this world right now, we have to find the things we have in common, and that is certainly one of them, Senator, protecting our children from online predators. You've done so much on that front, and I thank you. I attempted to do that as well when I was Attorney General, but I am committed to working with you on anything we can do to protect our children throughout this country. When I was Attorney General,
We're just getting shit waystones.
From,
I don't know what to do to get better
instant
waystones.
message nightmare and educating.
I mean, we're running 10s and we're getting lower than the shit we're running.
And that also, Senator, is one of the core functions of the FBI.
My passives are fucking perfect.
They sit
Like,
there,
it's got all the...
sit there all day long.
It's got all the
investigate
waystones,
child
like increased quantity of
predators.
waystones, increased quantity of
We tell
waystones, like
parents
all of
constantly,
this
you
is
think
increased
you're talking
quantity.
to another
I
child,
apologize.
and you're
I'm
not.
going to interrupt you. I welcome your positive response. I have one
go ahead.
more question that I'm going to try to fit into
Sure.
this round.
It's crazy. I don't know what to do.
TikTok will be banned unless it is sold because it has become a tool for the Chinese to collect information and do surveillance and endanger our national security. Can you commit that you will enforce that law promptly and effectively? And I ask this question because President Trump's pick for your Solicitor General in the Department of Justice went to the United States Supreme Court.
We're gonna run this one, try to get a boss.
The ban
I hate wasting a boss on a low key, but I'm gonna hope he gives us a higher key, because otherwise we're fucked.
If you are confirmed.
Senator, as I discussed with you during our meeting, that is pending litigation within the Department of Justice.
Well, it's pending litigation, but will you enforce that law?
I can't discuss pending litigation, but I will talk to all the prosecutors who are handling the case. Absolutely, Senator. Talk. discuss with
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, tell us.
Ms. Bondi, thank you for being here.
They have a 50% elemental resistance.
I was born in Florida.
Jesus Christ, we're gonna be fucked on this one.
Florida politics pretty closely, and you've had a very impressive career there. Though I do also have to admit I'm a Gator hater. So for the Florida alum, I'm University of Tennessee. But anyway.
All right, well.
I actually, in some of these
this is going to go interesting because they have super high fucking elemental resistance. I don't know if we should run that boss one.
I want to go back to a few of them really quickly.
They're going to be 2 levels higher too.
Was about you being a lobbyist paid for and on the payroll of Qatar. Would you mind going back and repeating what you said in case people did not hear the involvement of your law firm and precisely what you were doing for the government of Qatar?
Yes, Senator, I was very proud of that work. It was anti-human trafficking in advance of the World Cup.
I need one that has a higher.
It's been something that's been very important to me my entire career, especially when I was Attorney General.
And you also made it clear that you had a number of practitioners within the firm working on it. So this narrative that you were getting $115,000 a month from Qatar is correct or not?
Not correct.
Okay, thank you. I want to talk a little bit about, well, first off, I want to go back.
Damn, man, fuck. I don't know which way to go.
So many comments have been directed towards Kash Patel, whose confirmation I am supporting. In fact, I'm meeting with him today because that means they're out of stuff for you. So if it comes up again, you will once again know that you've got a great reputation and a great resume, and they are just trying to find things to put your integrity into question. You have answered the question repeatedly that that you will be loyal to the Constitution and you will live up to the oath.
Ooh, small hallways.
To the Constitution and
that makes our job a little easier. We just got to be careful not to get trapped.
And I think Mr. Patel, when he becomes here, he'll be able to get rid of the myth in the same way that you did as a lobbyist for Qatar.
Gotta watch out. They have elemental resistances, so my fire damage is not going to do as much. Thankfully, we're only doing a 10 or an 11, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Section 702. You heard Senator Lee talk about some concerns that he has with 702. I believe it's one of the most important things that you can do early into your confirmation. You will be confirmed, and hopefully with some Democrat support.
You just heard what he said, all right? She's gonna get confirmed. There's nothing they can do. We have the Senate. We can confirm anybody we want. Kash Patel's getting confirmed. RFK's getting confirmed. Tulsi, if she ever gets her background check, the Democrats are holding her background check.
If somebody abuses the protocol that's in place, I believe that we need to codify a lot of that. As a matter of fact, when I went through it, I felt like there were so many blinding flashes of the obvious. How could this not have already been a part of the approval matrix? So can you, after you're confirmed, commit that you or a designate will go back and provide for this committee an update on all
this ritual's in a tight. Okay, well, we're gonna clear first because this ritual's in a really tight spot.
When we do go to reauthorization, we'll have what we need to make sure.
Because it's gonna lock me into a tiny area and bring a shit ton of enemies in. Damn, 4,000 gold. That was a lot.
2026 and come back and report to you on both sides of the aisle.
Thank you. You have a great perspective with your time in the state and working with the Department of Justice. Give me an idea of things that we need to do better in terms of, and I'm talking primarily in the law enforcement role. I think
yo, what up,
many
amputee?
people don't understand the joint task forces, the law enforcement efforts that are going every single day in every one of our states. What an incredible job they do. So can you give me some sense of things that you would look at and say maybe we could do it better?
No. These guys do a lot of damage.
In Florida.
Yes, thank you, Senator. Having been a career prosecutor, I think I have a unique perspective because I was a state prosecutor, of course, prior.
I need to start using loot filters, man. The loot is.
So I work on a daily basis with local law enforcement and state and not daily with federal, but I work consistently with state, local, and federal. Then when I was Attorney General, I worked.
Back's still fucked, man. It hurts to sit here. I'm gonna do as long as I can. They did an MRI on it. I just have to wait for the results.
and communicate better.
Apparently they don't read them at the same time and they take them, which I didn't know.
Throughout this country, there are so many great men and women in law enforcement, and we have to, I don't know exactly how yet, but we have to figure out.
And it's the fucked up thing is, man, it's not my lower back. It's like, it's like not quite halfway down the back, like in between the bottom of my fucking shoulder blades. So it's not like way down low. It's up high. It's like up here, which means like no matter what I do, it's just uncomfortable. Like every time I bend, thankfully breathing doesn't hurt as much as it did because it hurt to breathe for a while. But yeah, I don't know. I've never hurt my back before, so I have no idea. I mean, I got hit by a minivan and it didn't hurt my back.
Every election, the question is a matter of scale and whether or not you can prove it. We've seen it in North Carolina and seen it at other places.
Well, I guess it did. It fucked my neck up, which I guess is essentially just your upper back.
We want to make elections easy to vote and hard to cheat.
Yeah, it's been rough. Sleeping's been rough. I haven't been getting a lot of sleep. Like lots of having to sleep during the day and shit. Like fall asleep for a couple hours, then wake up. Had to sleep sitting up, which fucking sucks.
And really studying the facts. I don't think though that you've said that Biden is an illegitimate president. In fact, I think you said just the opposite. He is the president of the United States, and President Trump will be the next president, right?
Yes.
Okay. Last thing before the second round, January 6th. A lot of people are going to say you're going to have a rubber stamp for letting people have pardons or recommending a pardon for people who did violence to law enforcement. I'm not going to ask you a hypothetical because I want you to be consistent and not answering them. But I have to believe as a member, I was the last member out of the Senate on January the 6th. I walked past a lot of law enforcement officers, who were injured. I find it hard to believe that the President of the United States or you would look at facts that were used to convict the violent people on January the 6th and say it was just an intemperate moment. I don't even expect you to respond to that, but I think it's an absurd and unfair hypothetical here, and you probably haven't heard the last of it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we're gonna hit it.
Senator Ronald, after
it's gonna get a little weird in here for a second. There's gonna be enemies coming.
then we'll take
3 packs of magic monsters. It's gonna be a lot of enemies.
break will be for 30 minutes, and I can't.
All right, let's get off this fucking bridge.
But I expect you to be
Oh no, what's happening? I can't shoot. Why can't I shoot? What is going on?
Yes, Chairman.
And then
Whoa, what in the lag fest was that? Did you see how fast he shot all the... I'm lagging. I can't shoot. I don't know what the fuck's happening right now. There we go. Dude, he didn't shoot, and then all of a sudden shot out like 5 fucking grenades.
To ensure the fitness of all nominees, I asked
Yeah, look at that shit. Look at the fucking spikes.
First, since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests
Is that
for
latency
sexual favors
spikes?
or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual
Yeah, that was
nature?
weird.
No, sir.
Have you ever faced discipline or
I think they did an
discipline
update, so it might be a
related to
problem with
this
the
kind of
update.
conduct?
No, sir.
Ms. Bondi, I am focused on 2 things in my
Oh, I hate this lady. Fucking hate this lady. Fucking fat fucking cunt.
Whether the nominee is qualified and experienced enough to do the job. The second is a fitness to serve, which includes putting loyalty to the Constitution over loyalty to the president. Unfortunately, in my view, many of President-elect Trump's nominees are lacking in at least one of these 2 requirements. Ms. Bondi, your experience as a prosecutor is the kind of thing we would expect to see in a nominee for Attorney General, but I do have questions and concerns about potential conflicts of interest.
Guess what,
about
you
whether
fat
keep
Hawaiian
DOJ
bitch?
law
We don't need
enforcement
your vote.
responsibilities independent of the president's political whims, and about whether you will let facts and evidence guide your decisions. So let's start with the importance of facts, which you say is so important. Ms. Bondi, we want an attorney general.
Ooh, what are these? Why are they such a low level though?
Bases decisions on
I don't understand.
I want to ask
All
you
the fucking
a
gear,
factual question.
these rare pieces of gear, all have such low levels on them.
Joe Biden is the president of the United
For its all
States.
evasion
Ms. Bondi,
rating
you
to
know that
armor.
there is a difference
So weird.
between acknowledging it and, I can say that Donald Trump won the 2024 election. I may not like it, but I can say it. You cannot say who won the 2020 presidential election.
Until next time.
Okay. It's disturbing that you can't.
It's because y'all didn't win. Y'all fucking cheated. You dumb bitch.
Give us
I'm
that.
sorry. It's been a long couple of weeks. I'm gonna be pretty vulgar and rude. Fuck these people. I don't like the Democrats. I don't like what they're doing to the country. I don't think I give a fuck about YouTube too much anymore. So I'm just gonna fucking say whatever I feel. I'm no longer worried about alienating audiences. Like I'm not like I don't think. Yeah, I'm gonna keep streaming, but I think we're gonna change a little bit over to political commentary and shit. Like watching shit like this. Dude, I hate these fucking people.
As President-elect Trump has said repeatedly, do you agree with his characterization of the felons?
All right, I think we're gonna fucking
I am
hit
not familiar with
this.
that statement, Senator.
I just familiarized you with that statement. Do you agree with that
117 increased elemental damage with elemental attacks.
Illegal immigration is poisoning the blood of our nation. He said that in December 2023. Do you agree with that statement?
Senator, I am not familiar with that statement, but what I can tell you is I went to the border a few months ago. I went to Yuma, Arizona, and what I saw at that border was horrific, Senator. It was horrific.
Ms. Bondi,
I went to a rape crisis center.
That is
If I could
not my
finish,
question.
I went to a rape crisis center. I'm not familiar with the statement, but I went to a rape crisis center. I met with Border Patrol agents. I'm sure you've been to the
Ms.
border
Bondi,
as well. So
I
you
want to
could
get
answer
to my
that.
next question.
Just fucking delay her. Fuck that bitch. I don't know if this is it's got a lot of
Question from Senator Whitehouse, and then
elemental damage, but how do you figure out?
You said that the White House, if I'm putting words in your mouth.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you said that the White House will play no role in
Yeah,
investigative.
I don't think it's going to be worth
charging
switching to.
decisions
This thing does a
in the
lot of
DOJ.
damage. It does a lot of physical
Is that
damage, but it does a
correct?
lot of damage.
Senator, what I said is that it is the Department of Justice's decision to determine what cases will be prosecuted.
What role will the White House have in investigative or prosecutorial decisions of the DOJ?
It is the Department of Justice's decision, Senator.
So that sounds to me that you're saying that the White House will not have any kind of role. Meanwhile, though, you have an incoming president who said, I have the absolute
I hate
right
this
to
fucking
do what
lady.
I want
I hate her. I watched her
to
yesterday
the
during
Justice
the
Department. And in fact,
the confirmation hearing at Pete
President-elect
Hegseth,
Trump
who's also
considers
going to
the
get through.
DOJ to be his
And
software.
fucking she was a total
Ask
cunt to
this.
him.
If President-elect Trump suggests,
They ask stupid
or
fucking
hints
questions. Just a
that
low
you as
IQ
Attorney
human.
General should investigate one of his perceived political enemies, would you do so?
Let's fucking level
Senator
this. See what this
Hirono, I
does.
wish you had met with me. Had you met with me, we could have discussed many things and gotten to know.
I am
you
listening
could
to
have
you
gotten to
now.
know me.
Could you respond to the question?
Yeah, you were the only one who refused to meet with me, Senator. But what we would have discussed is that it is the job of the Attorney General to
I'm very
follow
happy to
the
listen
law.
to your responses.
Fucking just junk, man. I think I'm just wasting. I think I'm just gonna buy gear. I think I'm just wasting money, fucking trying to get good gear. Like I never. This is all fucking like. It never turns out the way you want it. Like it always fucks up. Like getting the right stats is fucking impossible.
Suggest hints
So fucking annoying, man.
that you, as Attorney
All
General,
right.
should investigate one of his perceived enemies.
Senator, I
you do?
certainly have not heard the president say that. But what I will tell you is 2/3 of Americans have lost faith in the Department of Justice. And it's statements like that, I believe,
Ms.
that make
Bondi.
people continue to lose faith. If I am confirmed as Attorney General, it will be my job
Getting
to
on
not
to my
only
next
keep
question,
America
you're not
safe,
responding.
but restore integrity to that department.
Why don't we
and that's
move
what
on
I
to
plan
something
on
that
doing
you said?
every
Just
single
stonewall
day
her.
as
Fuck
Attorney
that
General.
bitch.
On August 25th, 2025, on Fox News, you said, when Republicans take back the White House,
After Biden Harris left, is fired. Yeah. Bro, Democrats. I think Democrats are gonna lose California because of those fires.
Ms. Bondi,
People are pissed, bro. I see a lot of liberals pissed. If not, they're gonna lose their tax bracket. That was all $30 million houses. Those people ain't moving back in. Those people are gonna leave.
in the eyes of the beholder, I'm just asking whether you would consider Jack Smith
Senator,
to be one of the people. How about Liz Cheney?
Senator,
How about Merrick Garland?
I am not going to answer hypotheticals. No one has been prejudged, nor will anyone
I am
be
asking
prejudged
whether
if I am
these are the
confirmed.
kind of people, these are in fact the people that you would prosecute. I'm not-
Your time is up. Would you like to?
My time is, Mr. Chairman. She is clearly not going to answer that question, so let me get on to.
Would you like to?
I do have
I'd love
questions
to.
for the second round.
You'll have a second round. Would you like to speak before I call on Senator Cruz?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Senator Cruz.
Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Bondi, welcome.
All right, let's hear. This is going to be a good one.
Your long career in public service, and thank you for your willingness to take on this incredibly important office. You know, I have to say,
Oh, what the fuck just hit me?
I don't know that there is a more important position in this new administration than the position to which you have been nominated. Attorney
I'm not getting waystones. It's really annoying.
I thought the exchange just a moment ago with Senator Hirono.
Oh, I don't know, man. California isn't as blue as you think. They're blue in like three cities. The rest is red, and they just lost one of those cities. A city of 20 or 30 million people.
It has happened over the last 4 years.
People are mad, man.
The most tragic legacy
They realized they were lied to, and they just lost
of
everything.
The Biden-Harris administration has been the politicization and the weaponization
All right, I want to listen
of
to
the United
this.
States Department of Justice. And we don't need to ask hypothetically because Joe Biden publicly mused and allowed the New York Times to report it. Calling on Merrick Garland, why will he not prosecute Trump more quickly? And Merrick Garland, sadly, he sat in that chair and promised to be apolitical, and he broke that promise almost the instant he walked into the Department of Justice. If you look on the west pediment of the Supreme Court of the United States, just above the entrance, there's a simple yet profound four-word phrase: equal justice under law. We have seen over the last 4 years a Department of Justice that systematically targeted the political opponents of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and that systematically protected his friends and allies. And it is tragic to see the loss of confidence in the American people, in the Department of Justice, and in the FBI. I would note, I don't think there's an institution in America who has lost more respect from the American people than the FBI has in the last 4 years.
Yes.
Go in on them.
That is a grotesque
Crazy thing is, I used to hate Ted Cruz, but not anymore.
Of the obligation of the Department of Justice and the FBI. So I want to start with just a very simple question. If you are confirmed as Attorney General, will you pledge to fairly and faithfully uphold the law regardless of party?
So help me God.
Amen. Look, and I want to be clear for folks at home. I don't want a Republican Department of Justice. I don't want a Democrat Department of Justice. I want a Department of Justice that follows the damn law. And I think the American people do too. That shouldn't be too much to expect.
Shit, I need to go.
Now,
Fuck. I need to go down and kill that last boss so we
I'm
can
grateful to President Trump for nominating.
do all these rituals.
I think on any objective
This one's
level,
on a
you're
fucking bridge too.
clearly
Man, these
qualified
rituals are in bad
for this
spots,
position.
man. They're on a fucking bridge.
You have been a prosecutor for decades. You have been the elected Attorney General of the state of Florida, the third largest state in America, for 8 years. Let me ask you,
Fucking
in terms of your practice,
fuck, man.
how many
I've been
criminal
taking
cases over
Tylenol,
the course
fucking,
of your
but
career have
shit
you
doesn't
personally handled?
really help.
Handled thousands.
How many of those were before a jury?
Hundreds. I don't want to overstate, but hundreds. I was in a courtroom for many years. I tried 4 when I was an intern, jury trials. I think you had to try at least 20 in misdemeanor before you went to felony. Then you were in court every day, and I was also lead trial attorney for many years.
Okay, this is an interesting boss. I don't know if I've fought
And
this
how many
guy
of those
before.
cases would have been before a judge?
Oh, hundreds and hundreds as well, but hundreds before a jury, I would assume.
And as Attorney General of Florida, how many lawyers did you supervise roughly?
Approximately 400.
Whoa, hey there, buddy.
Now, I also want to clarify something. During the course of this hearing, several Democrat senators have referred to you as President Trump's, quote, personal lawyer. Now I don't believe that is an accurate characterization. As I understand it, you represented President Trump as a White House special advisor during his first impeachment trial. Is that correct?
Within Office of White House Counsel, yes, Senator.
And is working within the White House counsel's office
He dodged it.
different than representing Donald J. Trump individually as his personal lawyer?
Absolutely.
How's it different?
You're working for the government. You're working for the Office of White House Counsel. You're not representing him in his personal capacity.
And so you have not represented him in his business affairs, in his personal life, or in any of the criminal trials he has faced?
No, Senator.
And you know, when it comes to weaponization, it's worth noting that in more than 2 centuries of our nation's history, no president had previously been indicted, no president had previously been prosecuted until the Biden-Harris White House came along. And in the last 4 years, we've seen Donald
See,
Trump
this is what I'm talking about.
indicted and
This is the thing I don't like about this game right now. Full health,
separate times.
random one-shot. And it's a problem. I don't know what they're going to do about it. I don't know if it's an armor issue. But it happens so fucking often.
Boom! Well done.
It's not like you saw how easily we cleared all that. And then out of nowhere, it's an instant one-shot. And it's a huge fucking problem. It's one of the biggest problems with this game right now. It's like just the random one-shot. I can run T-15s and not have a problem. And then run an 11 and get a random one-shot. Like, it doesn't make fucking sense, man. That was dumb. See, we just lost a bunch of experience. It's fucking stupid. And we got no fucking waystones.
77.3 million Americans.
I'm 200 hours in, but this game is slowly losing me. Like, I really like the game. I like the combat. It's fun to play. But shit like this just makes it frustrating. End game, super frustrating.
To follow the Constitution, to uphold the rule of law without favor and without regard to the partisan position of any criminal defendant.
Yes, Senator.
That's what we should all expect from an Attorney General. Thank you.
We'll now recess for 30-minute lunch break. That means we'll be back at 12:25. And when we resume, Senator Booker will be recognized.
Oh, Booker's a piece of shit, too. Cory Booker's a piece of shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an absolute bombshell. Holy smokes, Pam Bondi is smoking them. I am so proud. This ain't 2017 anymore. Adjust your timelines, ladies and gentlemen. Understand that we are living in a totally different Republican Party. Do you remember when Trump's nominees used to cower and shiver and whimper and agree with Democrats all the way down the dais? I remember the confirmation hearings of 2017. Maybe you do too. Ladies and gentlemen, this is completely different. Pam Bondi blowing them up. Holy smokes. Weaponized Department of Justice, Donald Trump assassinations. I'm going to name for you what you all did to Donald Trump. I refuse to accept your fraudulence in the 2020 election. I refuse to go about with election fraud. Time and time again, she's asked about this. By the way, is this a Pam Bondi hearing? Or is, like, this Kash Patel in a Pam Bondi mask? I don't get it.
Okay, so
half the questions are about Kash Patel. Yo, they are so upset about Kash Patel. Oh, man. For our members, can I get some Kash Patel emojis in the chat? Load me up with Kash Patel emojis. We're going to have Senator Steve Daines, who has been running between confirmation hearings. You see multiple senators. It's going to be hard for us to book a senator today because there are so many hearings going on at the exact same time. Marco Rubio is happening right now. John Ratcliffe for CIA is happening right now. We have updates for all of you. We only have a short period of time. We'll also have Julie Kelly joining us live in just a moment. Producers, let me know. I don't want to waste any time.
Yeah, it's still in development, Amputee. It's early access, but I mean, this is something people have been complaining about since like the second week of release. There's a problem with armor rating where, okay, so you have like a skill tree, right?
influencers online.
Hold on, let me
how
find
the
my
pardon
skill
should
tree.
go
Hit the wrong
forward.
button.
We're going to go to the source.
So you have this giant
The
fucking skill tree,
absolute
right?
and total
This is our setup right now. It's a good setup. It works really well. But because of the type of guy we are, we use armor and evasion. That's our stats. Armor's broken. So the next thing you have to do is you have to use energy shield. So people are switching to armor, energy shield. But this is the closest energy shield tree, meaning you have to waste points going all the way across the tree to here just to get armor. And I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not fucking doing it. They can fix the fucking game or I'll quit playing. I'm not doing it.
To Dick Durbin, I mean, the first thing she says.
Like, I'll play until it loses me, and then I'll
screw
stop.
you, Dick Durbin.
I'm not gonna fucking. I'm not switching my character because your fucking guys can't get armor right. Fix armor.
You're not going to get one over on me.
All right, let me see. Should we make an 11? Fuck.
Just a reminder that Dick Durbin.
Actually.
This is like incredibly important.
Maybe not. Maybe not, because if we lose that, then we're down to 9s.
I want to like set this as quickly and as clearly as possible, because Dick Durbin's the Democrat in charge of this committee. He defended Jeffrey Epstein. Dick Durbin has the capacity to put people in prison for flying to Jeffrey Epstein's island and doing things I can't even mention on the live. And here's what he said when given the opportunity to release the Jeffrey Epstein files, of which this committee still sits on. Here we go.
Chairman Durbin, can I ask you a quick question? Why won't you subpoena Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs?
So, who are you?
Hillary Vaughn with Fox.
With Fox, of course. I don't know anything about his flight logs.
But why won't you subpoena them? Why don't you want to know?
Because he's on the flight logs. He's a fucking child molesting piece of shit.
Well, he was charged with sex trafficking, so why don't you want to know who was utilizing his private plane?
Because they were utilizing his private plane.
Senator Blackburn has wanted to subpoena them, and there hasn't been a vote in your committee.
Said a word to me, not a word.
But aren't you curious, like, what high-profile or powerful people might be closeted predators and pedophiles? Doesn't that concern you?
Of course.
So why won't you subpoena them if you can?
It's the first time anyone has raised it. Thank you, Fox.
So are you curious about it? Will you do it?
Durbin's a liar. Last week, Primetime asked his office.
So, ladies and
I'm just
gentlemen,
trying to find one that has high waist
sorry
stones.
to cut that clip short, but we were short of time, and they're going to be back in.
I thought we had one that had
and so we wanna be able to
66%
get to
waist
senators,
stones, but I can't
Julie
find
Kelly,
it.
And lay out the groundwork here for what is truly happening. But it is just like with the questioning of Pete Hegseth yesterday. It is important to take a step back, take a giant
See, this
step
has
back, and look at who these
53%, but
people
it's a
are
fucking hideout, so
defending.
it's not a full
Look
level.
what these people are doing. Dick Durbin is going to sit there and is going to squeal about the 2020 election. He's protecting Jeffrey Epstein client list. The world's foremost pederast.
Yeah, I love it. Benny's show, he's great. I love his show. His show's good.
With all of it.
His viewership is bigger than most news organizations.
Okay, let's
like when he did the confirmation. I don't know how many people are in it right now because I don't have it pulled up. But when he did the stream yesterday of Pate Hegseth, he had like 30,000 people watching
Tim Kaine siding with Bill Clinton
for a
running
fucking
with Hillary Clinton,
political
Bill Clinton
hearing.
back in the White
Like,
House.
it's crazy.
He's gonna sit there and comment to Pete Hegseth
I like this shit. It's like soap operas to
about
me.
fidelity in his marriage. The guy that wanted to put Bill Clinton back in the White House is gonna critique Pete Hegseth's
We need to switch
fidelity.
to a poison.
Has any of these people ever been asked a question about
I gotta switch
Ted
my
Kennedy drunk
my
driving
trinket
and
when we
killing
get out of here.
one of his staffers who's cheating with his wife on? It's like incredible. Senate Democrats have most of these people served with Ted Kennedy. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go on a rant right now. They served with Ted Kennedy. Chappaqua, there's a photo of Ted Kennedy's car in the water where he left the staffer who he was banging, cheating on his wife, drunk drove into the water, killed her. He's a murderer. And all of these people serve with Ted Kennedy. And they're going to sit there and criticize Pam Bondi. They're going to sit there and criticize Pete Hegseth? No, I'm sorry. We're just going to take one giant step back here. Okay. I've had enough. Ladies and gentlemen, Pam Bondi doing this in her own way. In her own way. Wait for my confirmation hearing. It's going to be exciting. Yeah. I tell you the truth. I will absolutely serve as Donald Trump's press secretary. I will. I'll do it. Everyone keeps asking me to do it. You know what? Fine. I'll tell
Bro,
you
if
right
they
now.
make him the press secretary, bro, I would
I'll
love
serve
that.
For only one day. Because what I'll do is I'll immediately introduce the cone of shame. And it'll be like one of those cones that dogs wear after going to the vet. And I'll put the cone of shame on the reporter who is asking the dumbest question. And they'll only let me do it for one day, okay? I'll get sued, all right? They'll chase me out of town, torches. But I'll get them one of those big plastic cones and go over to Jim Acosta, go thunk right on the top of his head. That's what we'll do. So that's all, okay? I'm telling you right now. Pam Bondi doing it in her own way. 2 very quick clips here. Gotta post for Pam Bondi. Here we go.
Why is it not killing
Pam Bondi
him?
was asked about, will you go after DOJ
Oh, he's
lawyers?
periodically
You said
evasive.
you're going to go after DOJ criminal lawyers. Ho, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this is a perfect answer. Pam Bondi
No, still not getting. Man, it's crazy how few waystones we get, considering we have like a 40% increase in waystones just from our fucking tablets.
I'll name names. Democrat senators left stunned here. Let's go.
It would not be appropriate for a prosecutor to start with a name and look for a crime. It's a prosecutor's job to start with a crime and look for a name, correct?
Senator, I think that is the whole problem with the weaponization that we have seen the last 4 years and what's been happening to Donald Trump. They targeted Donald Trump. They went after him, actually starting back in 2016. They targeted his campaign. They have launched countless investigations against him. That will not be the case if I am Attorney General. I will not politicize that office. I will not target people simply because of their political affiliation. Justice will be administered even-handedly throughout this country. Senator, we've got to bring this country back together. We've got to move forward, or we're going to lose our country.
Yeah, I think the concern is that weaponization of the Justice Department may well occur under your tenure. And we want to make sure that that's not the case, that you remain independent, that you remain able to and willing to tell the president no when that's necessary to protect the Constitution and the integrity of the department. So that's where I'm asking these questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, while I was really proud of that clip as well, where she flipped it all back on Donald Trump, and then having to note again that Donald Trump had multiple assassination attempts against him, it's incredible how everybody tends to forget that. That at least 2 that were widely publicized, but 4 or 5 if you really start adding them up. It's amazing how Democrats have to constantly be reminded of that. Constantly be reminded. And the bloody cheek of these people to go after.
What a forlorn crossbow.
Pam
You don't
Bondi
get any good gear ever.
for the weaponization of the Department of Justice. The absolute fraudulence of these individuals. After everything that we have been through, everything we have covered on this program, witheringly, over the last 4 years, we've been there for every step of the way. It's been horrifying. It's been grotesque. What they've done to Donald Trump, but also what they've done to thousands upon thousands of
I don't know what I need to
Americans.
do to get more waystones to drop. They were dropping. We got tons of them like 2 days ago, and then they just don't drop now.
That clip, which was righteous,
And we're
but also
slowly
to
getting
this
pushed
clip
back
that I
down
wanted
the fucking tiers.
That I wanted to bring up, that I was setting up for last time. Pam Bondi, you're going to fire corrupt Department of Justice lawyers? How could you possibly do that? Pam Bondi says, not only will I do that, here's lawyers that I will fire. I'm going to name them right now. Let's go.
You have said that Department of Justice prosecutors will be prosecuted in the Trump administration. What Department of Justice prosecutors will be prosecuted and why?
I said that on TV. I said prosecutors will be prosecuted to finish the quote, if bad. Investigators will be investigated. You know, we all take an oath, Senator, to uphold the law. None of us are above the law. Let me give you a really good example of a bad lawyer within the Justice Department, a guy named Klein Smith, who altered a FISA warrant, one of the most important things we can do in this country. So will everyone be held to an equal equal, fair system of justice if I am the next Attorney General? Absolutely. And no one is above the law.
She straight up named him. That's fucking
All right,
great.
ladies and gentlemen, such a powerful and incredible
Exalted orb.
So Pam Bondi's strategy here has been very simple. Give zero ground. Bulldoze only. Aggressive action only. Defend the kingdom. This has been amazing. We've been so used to Trump nominees, I'm not going to name names, Trump nominees and even people inside of the conservative movement who often bend the knee, grovel, apologize, infight, backbite, backstab. President Trump being the foremost recipient of these scumbags. And even in, of course, his own staff.
There we go. There's a waystone.
These miserable...
Oh, no, I'm going to die. I'm going to die before I can grab it.
And there's a
What
lot
the
of people
fuck is
behind us.
electric
Too many
doing
people
so
counting.
much
Here's one
damage
just off the top
for?
of my head before we
Yeah.
get to Kelly here.
Okay. I got to figure out what's happening.
Jeff
Why?
Sessions.
What have they done
Jeff
to
Sessions was
lightning?
the last guy in this chair.
I don't...
And Jeff Sessions' first act
I have...
was
I'm
to
fully
be
resistant. I have max
cobbled
resistance.
and cudgeled into
Lightning
recusing
resistance.
himself from Russiagate. What was the grounds for that? From some
I don't...
dorky
75's
Alabama
the cat.
senator
I don't understand why it's doing
whose,
so much fucking
main
damage.
objective in life was to ban weed or something. I'm actually in favor of that, but there's bigger fish to fry. Oh, that he got a photo with a Russian once. It was literally a massive op being run against these cowards, these feckless, limp-wristed cowards who genuflected, got on their knees, and begged for more. Every time the Democrats dished out a heaping load of garbage on them. And it's so wonderful, whether it's Hegseth yesterday or whether it's...
Yeah, the Hegseth confirmation was pretty wild
Marco Rubio
yesterday.
doing a great job also.
Oh, lightning.
John Ratcliffe
Oh,
doing a great job.
no.
To see all of them put up
I don't know why
a
lightning's doing so much
giant
damage,
middle finger
but
on fire,
it
dip
is.
it in kerosene, and say no. And to draw the line. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a line that I want to draw very
I'm dead.
harshly here for January 6th.
Oh, maybe not. I stunned him.
About it, I'm very interested in Julie Kelly, who is the foremost
A lot of damage that guy was
master
doing.
of this issue, to explain Pam Bondi's answer on January 6th political pardons and what we should expect, because it will have to go through the DOJ. All the prosecutions went through the DOJ, so it all has to go through the DOJ. Julie Kelly joins us live now.
All right.
Julie, thank you so much. There's just so much that I want to say right now about the weak Republican leadership, but it does seem like there's been quite a stiffening of the spines. First off, I'm assuming you've been following and watching Pam Bondi and her confirmation. The overall takeaway of how Pam has done from like a 35,000 perspective.
I think she has performed very admirably. I admire her cool that she has kept under some of this.
Holiday was good, man.
I also admire her passion.
Had a bunch of family
talking
over the
about
week of
defending
Christmas.
Trump
Wife's
and
family came over Christmas Eve.
the
My
weaponization
family
of
was
the
over
DOJ
Christmas
and
Eve
FBI
and Christmas
against
Day.
the president, which has been going on for years. So I think
Yeah,
that
other than,
she
I mean,
has
that,
so far
everything was
struck
going great.
a good
I mean,
balance
just
in defending sort of not the
I
Department
took
of
that
Justice,
week
but
off,
upholding, of
and
course,
then
the rule of
that
law,
was it
fair
Friday,
administration of justice
Friday or Saturday of that
for all
week. I fucking
Americans,
I took a
but also
nosedive
suggesting
outside.
that she is going to
I
be
just I
tough
fucking
in
just
this role as
slipped,
Attorney
man.
General
Like just literally.
and hold accountable
it-
those who are responsible
stupid.
for destroying
It was fucking stupid. Like it was a
in this
fall that
institution.
normally
That is imperative.
wouldn't
And
like
so
it
I
wasn't a
think,
hard fall.
she's done very well so far.
It was just the way I twisted as I was falling. Like
gone to so many.
I mean, I literally just tripped.
Garland's
Like
DOJ,
it wasn't.
Garland, sniveling weasel sat in that exact
Yeah, I don't
same
know.
chair.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. I don't know if. I don't know. I don't know if my back muscles are weak from not doing a lot the last couple of years. I don't know.
True Gestapo-like terror.
I mean, it's a fall that if you had told me would have wrecked my back, I would have laughed at you. Like it was. Like I caught myself. Like I didn't scrape anything. Like it wasn't a hard fall. Like, I just twisted to catch myself. Like, I got one arm, so when I fall, I gotta twist and try to put my hand down. And it's just the way I twisted, man.
We're gonna follow that path.
My back did not like.
Although It certainly wasn't specific.
And it's the spot
And
too,
it
because it's
left,
not
I think,
lower
maybe
back.
a lot
It's
to
in
be
between my
explained.
shoulder blades.
Let's go in.
So like,
Pardons
it's
up
in
for
a
Jason.
weird spot that you
What did
typically
you think
probably
about
don't
her
injure your
answer?
back.
What do you think the Trump policy should be?
There we go.
I
There's
mean,
a 12.
I think that her answer related to reviewing, upon request by the president, J6 cases on a case-by-case basis is sort of what we've been hearing from other officials and Trump transition members. The president seems to have
I love that they don't
indicated
need the
a more
Democrat
broad
votes at all.
brush approach to that. So we'll find out more on January 20th. I think that she does have to be careful here because you don't want to turn this into, you know, every day for a Democrat is January 6th of 2021. We saw this again. Their first questions to her about, you know, forcing her to say that Joe Biden was legitimately elected in 2020, going back over.
It's funny she didn't say it. She refused to say it.
A territory.
'Cause it's not
phone
true.
calls to Georgia election officials, etc. These people just cannot. They are trapped in like this time capsule.
It's like a
The end
psychotic
of
ex-girlfriend.
2020
Yeah.
and January 6th. It's absurd.
You know why they're trapped? Because they know they did something wrong and they have to defend it. Because if someone investigates into that election, they're going to find very, very
But I will
large
say,
abnormalities.
Aside from that, once again, watching Republican senators intentionally avoid mentioning J6 defendants, their own constituents who have been abused and targeted by this DOJ, and instead continuing to bring up, again,
Go back in there, see if we can get some more.
Yes, you should not be surveilling protesting parents at school board meetings. No, you should not be spying on Catholics. However, that
Well, I have you in
pales
here, MT. The
comparison
goal
to
for
what is
now is going to
happening
be
now.
to try to stream
Close to
a fewer hours
1,600
every day, but still do it every day.
Mostly on misdemeanor charges, throwing the full weight
Hopefully,
of the
I mean,
federal
I've been
government,
sitting for
DOJ,
about an hour and a
FBI,
half now,
DC
and I'm
federal
not dying
judges,
yet.
and
But
DC juries
it's
against
definitely uncomfortable.
powerless, penniless.
And then
I am really tired.
as soon as I get my
of
MRI
hearing
back, I'll know
same
more. And then
canards from
next week,
Republican senators and House members
Dynasty
about
Warriors
school board
comes
parents
out.
and
It's got pretty
Catholics,
good
et cetera,
pre-release
and
reviews.
intentionally overlooking
So we're probably going
the,
to play Dynasty
abusive,
Warriors.
vengeful, and destructive
I don't know if let me
persecution
see something real quick.
of their own constituents. These Republicans just have to do better because President Trump is going to need their support to justify pardons. And you just simply do not see that happening yet. Maybe we'll see more in the second half of this hearing. But so far, the Republicans, and to have
So
Tom
I
Tillis
still want to play
actually,
Indiana Jones.
so, you know, criticize
but
any thought of
I think I'm going to
pardoning
download Marvel Rivals too.
accused and convicted
I
of
played
DC
I played it when it
juries
first
of
came out
attacking,
and
assault,
didn't
or
really get into
interfering
it,
with
but
police.
it seems like
They
everybody's
just
playing
cannot
it.
get on the right side of this issue.
What are Heroes of Hammer Watch? I've never even seen this before.
That caused us to so vocally and
Bro, is this an old school RPG?
go out against John Thune and John Cornyn.
Oh, that's interesting looking, like an old school joint.
Absolutely ate and digested and then used hook, line, and sinker the left wing.
Okay, so games we're waiting for. Civ 7 comes out. I like Civ. I played a lot of Civ 5. I didn't do any on stream. Like it doesn't. To me, it's really long-winded. It's like games take hours. So,
it seems like that would be like
Dynasty Warriors.
top
Here it
of
is.
mind, actually.
So already 1,000 reviews, 97%, 96% positive,
sort of thought process that
95% positive.
how is this going to
But
shake
they
out?
could be a lot of people that were paid to review the game. But still,
start with people who are
I've been watching some of the reviews
that caused
and
a little bit of friction.
it looks
how would
fun.
you like to see this process play out?
Benny, the conduct at issue is not January 6th protesters. The conduct at issue is this Biden regime. The conduct that needs to be investigated is not further J6ers who committed violence, who, got in a scuffle with police, who entered the building, who shouldn't have. That we've already exhausted. What more can we say about these J6ers and their conduct?
And then this is the other one that comes out. This
issue
comes out
is
February
how
4th.
this
Kingdom
DOJ,
Come Deliverance
FBI
2.
has
We're
been
definitely playing this. I played the first one back in
brutally
2017, 2018.
Benny, Matthew Graves, the DC U.S. attorney, is still arresting people.
It was a
There
really
a
good
new
game.
arrest
I liked it.
announced yesterday. There are 2 trials
So yeah, we're
happening
gonna.
in Washington,
I
D.C.
fucking hate that I can't
today
click that.
for J6 protesters. They are still
Anyway,
sentencing people to prison. They sentenced 2
This is a
people
story video. I was
this
seeing if they had a
week.
gameplay video.
That is that is the crux of the weaponization of the DOJ and FBI. So I only want
Anyway,
to
so I mean
keep,
that's the plan right now. The plan's going to be to do
condemnation,
Destiny
not of
Warriors and then
J6ers,
Kingdom
but
Come Deliverance too.
condemnation of this DOJ, FBI, DC
Destiny
US Attorney's
Warriors
Office, and these
comes
DC
out. What date
judges
is Destiny
who
Warriors
put
coming out?
their imprimatur
Where the fuck did it go?
on this unprecedented abuse of
So
of
this
federal
comes
law
out
against misdemeanors.
16th. What's today?
And so that has to be the talking point. That has to
Oh, it
be
comes
the
out
narrative
tomorrow.
moving forward. I don't want
Oh,
to hear
maybe
violent
one a
versus
day in 7
nonviolent. I
hours.
want to
Okay,
hear
so it won't be tomorrow.
what these
Because it'll be tomorrow
prosecutors
night.
have done, what Merrick Garland and Lisa
All right,
Monaco
anyway,
and
so we're going to
Matthew
try this
Grace
out.
have
Hopefully it gets good
endorsed,
reviews.
the judges and what they have said and done.
anything
That
else to say
needs
right
to
now?
be the narrative.
No
moving
sales right now.
forward, in my opinion.
All right, anyway.
So
That's the plan.
Yes, that's right. That seems to be the dividing line here. With
I'll probably be
saying,
limited
no,
to 2 or
this
3
system
hours a
has
day
been
until
entirely
I get my
rigged
back
to the point
situated.
that nobody got a fair trial, and every single January 6th trial is fraudulent. And then
I know after doing this, I'm definitely going to need to go lay down. That's for fucking
potential
sure.
administration positions of
I'm
power
going to eat
saying,
lunch and then
we're
I'm going to
gonna
go
do it
lay on the
a
fucking
case-by-case
couch.
basis, and we're going to separate them into groups. What do you think?
I've been
about those
playing
two strategies?
PoE from my bed. I
Well,
pulled my
I mean, I
computer
think
over
the
next to my fucking
low-hanging
bed
fruit,
and
and this
ended
is
up
sort of what I
logging
predict will be the day
an
one
insane amount of
executive
time
order
into this
related
game in
to
like 2
J6ers,
weeks,
and that is
3
those
weeks.
who have been
I think I'm 3.
convicted or charged with the common misdemeanors. Nonetheless, even
just
though
wanna
they've
see how
been
many hours
charged
we
with
are at.
minor
We're at
misdemeanors,
210 hours.
low-level offenses, that the chief judge of the D.C. Circuit said in early 2021,
I've almost
they
got more
never
time in this than I had in
handled
Elden Ring. I
federal
think I have 300 and
misdemeanors
something in
against
Elden Ring right now.
protesters. But these charges have been brought against more than 1,000 J6ers, so that would be the easiest pardon. Of course, there is going to be some controversy over pardoning those who were convicted, say, of seditious conspiracy, which is this rare statute that has only been reserved for foreign terrorists, like the World Trade Center bomber, the first one, and his conspirators, not American citizens, for organizing a protest on a Wednesday afternoon on government property. And then, of course, this assaulting, interfering, impeding police officers. I believe that caseload is around 300. You have a much smaller percentage who were accused of some sort of actual physical violence against police.
They need to fucking let all
Again,
of them out.
overlooking the fact what police did that day, using excessive force and, of course, lethal force in at least one.
The cop that shot
instance,
her should be
that
charged.
The shooting, killing of Ashley Babbitt. So, but this can't drag on, Benny. So hopefully, and I believe that there is a process in place where they're closely looking at what would be the most controversial pardons, and then dealing with that. But it can't be a protracted process. Rip the Band-Aid off. Make this about the abuses of the DOJ and FBI and federal courts in Washington, the partisanship of DC juries. Benny, I posted this after we talked the other day. The Department of Justice has a 100% perfect conviction rate in DC jury trials. Over 250 defendants have been brought before DC juries. We're now close to 3 years of jury trials. Not a single person, J6er, has walked out of a DC jury trial exonerated. Not one. I mean, that should tell you right there how highly partisan and biased this process has been and remains to be. So everyone should be pardoned.
Another day
because
for
of the
me. Hung out with my
process
mom, New
that they
Year's,
had
got
to
drunk
endure.
Christmas Eve. And
Even
bought-
those who acted
Oh, what kind of
badly,
RC car did
got
you
in
buy?
confrontation
Yeah, I hung out with
with police. They
me
were
and my
not
wife hung out
able
with our
to
kids New
present
Year's
a
Eve.
fair case.
My daughter
Their
went out and
charges
did
were not
karaoke,
moved
but
out
she
of
was home at
Washington.
like
Their trials were not
10:30.
moved out of Washington. This is such a
Oh, he's
rigged,
dead. He's dead.
banana
He did a
republic
lot of
style
damage, bro. That was
legal and
close.
judicial system in Washington, and it has to
All right,
be
how many
remedied
enemies? We got
because
7 enemies
otherwise
left.
They will continue
And
to
they
do
all
it.
should be right around here.
So, this does ring so
There they are.
unbelievably true when people who weren't in that January
All right,
6th
that's
are
it.
getting 22
This is
year
done.
sentences. It's like, it is beyond
Wait,
forgivable.
is this done?
The trampling of our civil liberties and
I
rights.
thought I had.
So, if you were advising President Trump, you'd say, pardon them all.
Wait.
I've said this before, pardon them all, with the exception of a few who have lengthier criminal records, right? So we want to look closely at those. There are a handful, but otherwise,
we got a
you have
12,
people
so
who
let's
are
do our
veterans,
12.
police officers with no criminal record who have been thrown in jail for 6, 7, 10 years for minor confrontations.
This game could be a 10 out of 10 if they fixed a few things, man.
And Benny, I'm going to say quite frankly,
it's such a good game.
we saw this
it's not.
today in this hearing. There has been an opportunity.
It's got a huge level of depth,
here
but it just
to
has a
make
few
this
fucking
case very
in-game issues that they have to
I
deal
know
with.
the president had said it on the campaign trail. He has said it in interviews, but he needs support in making the case about the unfair legal and judicial system in Washington. And he has not gotten support for the most part from Senate and House Republicans. So there's a window of opportunity here that has been missed to make the case to the public. It's not too late, but everyone needs to be on the same page here. And when you see people like Tom Tillis, repeating the Democrat talking points about what happened that day, you can certainly see why this would be, in some instances, an uphill battle for the president and for Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Yes. So, at the very least, we can expect a massive shift and change. President Trump has promised thousands of pardons. He said this many times on day one, and he's been followed up by Stephen Miller and so on.
I just ruined it. Fuck.
So
God damn it. That's everything in this game. There's so much RNG in this game. It's insane. Literally an insane level of RNG in some of the shit you do.
Looks like you must follow Julie Kelly. Here is her.
I'm gonna keep going north. I want to get to a fucking citadel.
1,000 subs on X for Julie Kelly. God bless you for fighting the good fight, doing it way before it was ever popular. And now, at the very least, Julie, we're gonna count our blessings. At least we can have these conversations. At least we can have these debates. At least there's light at the end of the tunnel for something. So we're thankful for that. Thank you, Julie.
Thanks, Benny.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined right now by a Senator, Steve Daines, who is joining us in between hearings and has very limited time. So we're going to hop on over to the Senator and get the take from a
all right, they're about to come back from
Senate
lunch.
Right now with multiple confirmation
I need to go down and get a
7
drink.
hearings going on at the moment. Let's jump on in with the Senator.
Yeah, didn't do
You're
much
on
over the
fire,
holidays.
Senator.
Kind of just hung
Here
out at
we
the
go.
house.
The Senate is smoking today. We've been following Pam Bondi. You have to choose, right? You have to pick,
Before I
pick
fucked
your
my
adventure.
back up,
We
changed the
chose
oil on the
Pam
truck.
Bondi. There's been an incredible hearing.
Still haven't figured out what's wrong with my car, man. I gotta take my car apart, but it's been so fucking cold here. I don't know how it's been there, ABT, but like we've been in the 20s for like 2 weeks now, bro. It's been so fucking cold.
Nominees, Benny, they're crushing it. They truly are. I mean, quick flashback to yesterday. I mean, many believe that Pete Hegseth was having a difficult time in that hearing. You could see why he's a battle-tested, battle-hardened.
Let me go down. I gotta go down and check on my dog real quick. I want to grab a drink.
I thought he did a brilliant job. I could not be prouder of the job that Pete did. And, I mean, to see Jennifer there right behind him, the family, I mean, stood tall. I could not be prouder to cast my vote in support for Pete Hegseth. So yesterday, I think, was a great day. That kind of kicked off the rest of these hearings. Today, like you said, I just got out of the hearing for Chris Wright. He'll be Trump's Secretary of Energy. I've known Chris for a long time. I'm a chemical engineer by degree. Chris is a mechanical engineer and electrical engineer in his training. So we had a chance to talk about innovation is the key, not regulation, unleashing baseload power, as you've got the Democrats in this climate change green hallucination they live in. And Chris is just a thoughtful scientist, not an ideologue, who knows we need more energy, not less, and that's producing America. So that's going exceptionally well. I will tell you, Chris Wright will be the next Secretary of Energy for President Trump. But I came to the Wright hearing right after Marco Rubio's hearing.
This guy keeps rezzing him. Fuck.
I'm on the Foreign Relations Committee, and Marco, again,
don't die.
consummate pro there, standing up, representing President Trump's America First policies and strategy, talking about Iran, talking about Israel, talking about how we get out of this mess in Ukraine.
We're getting exalted, Orbs, but we're not getting any fucking
So, Betty, you're right.
stones.
This is a hot day for us. It's a good day for us as we're moving these nominees through. I'm confident we're going to get these nominees through this process, confirmed and serving under President Trump as quickly as possible.
Confirm every single one. So Pete Hegseth, many.
So what
say
type of
that he now
RC
has
car
the
did you
votes
buy?
To be Secretary of Defense, can you confirm?
What kind of
that?
RC car did you get?
I think you can start calling Pete Secretary. I mean, I think call it a Freudian slip or maybe an assumptive close. You can call Pete Mr.
Thought about
Secretary.
selling the
I think he did
6x6
really,
and
really well yesterday.
building a speed car, like a top speed car.
I mean, think about
Like the
what
ones
it's
you see like do like
to be
150 miles an hour.
limelight. I mean, it was flashbacks to the Brett Kavanaugh hearings in some ways, and I thought he just did a stellar job. Really did. And by the way,
Mother
I was really
exalted
proud
one.
of
We are definitely
our
getting
new,
exalted one.
junior senator from Montana, Tim Sheehy, who I think just one of the few guys here in the Senate that
It is
has
nice.
200, the only guy, 200 combat missions in special operations as a Navy SEAL, married to a Marine, both graduated from the Naval Academy, both served in Afghanistan in combat. What a great addition to the United States Senate, a pro-America, pro-Trump leader that I get to have as my battle buddy here in the United States Senate from the great state of Montana.
With the best one-liner of the day. How many genders are there? I'm a she/he. Like that's like perfect. It was gold.
Benny, they served that fastball about waist high. I said, Tim, keep your weight back and hit that ball. And
So Pam Bondi, something that is interesting in watching all of this is that Pam Bondi is getting a lot more questions about Kash Patel than she is about Pam Bondi. It's a bit of a tell. They're showing us their hand. They're really scared of Kash Patel, and that's kind of interesting. When can we expect a Kash Patel hearing, and more importantly, why the obsession?
Yeah, well, I think, well, first of all, they're out of ammunition on Pam Bondi, so they got to figure something else to talk about. But by the way, Pam, I've not been able to see the hearing because I've been tied up in our hearings, advancing President Trump's nominees on foreign relations and on the Energy Committee. But what I've heard, just kind of in the hallway, just quick briefs from my staff, literally walking from room to room, is that she's completely flipped the script on the Democrats. I mean, they talk about weaponizing DOJ. Holy cow! This is talk about calling the kettle black. Talk about living in a glass house and throwing stones. Think about what President Biden has done to weaponize DOJ, and what a refreshing change it'll be for Pam Bondi to come in and clean house. And similarly with Kash Patel, I've known Kash for a long time. In fact, we worked closely during the Senate campaign when I was chairing the Republican Senatorial Committee, working close with President Trump. Kash was a great ally to help us win back the United States Senate. So I'm looking forward to getting him in front of the committee, getting him approved, confirmed, and serving as quickly as possible. Because as we all know, there's a lot of cleanup on aisle 9 right now in the FBI.
Yes. Can you give us a quick insight on Marco Rubio? Forgive us because there's so much going on right now.
Yeah.
We just haven't been able to cover everything, and so we've been in this one hearing for the entire show. I've been seeing clips go up. You've been there. You've been asking questions. How's it going?
Yeah. I was in Rubio's hearing probably more than anywhere else in watching from the beginning. I watched his opening comments. Marco, look, you're never going to stump Marco Rubio in the hearing. He has 12 years of experience on the Foreign Relations Committee, just for starters. So he's got a great command of just the facts. This is a guy that reminds me a lot of Amy Coney Barrett in terms of the no notes as a nominee. You sit there. He doesn't have to have any notebooks and any handlers telling him what to say. He just can take it from the top of his head. He's doing a great job. He gets some of the sticky issues like Ukraine. I mean, clearly there's some disagreement right now in terms of strategy in Ukraine. He's clear and has moral clarity on the issue of Israel and Hamas. We had these code pink protesters.
God, we need waystones, man. What the fuck?
I will tell you, the Capitol Police today have got the linebackers, the starting lineup. They got the big guys because they wasted no time to really tackle some of these guys around and usher them out. But I love that there was an unscripted moment a couple months ago when some code pink protesters came after Marco Rubio, and Marco looked him square in the eye and says, "We should kill every single Hamas terrorist." I mean, that's the kind of moral clarity Marco Rubio will bring to this job in advancing President
Traxxas
Trump's
Nitro
pro-American
Stampede.
policies.
Oh, okay. So you bought an old school joint.
Interesting. Yesterday, Congresswoman Anapolina Luna was on saying that she saw them sitting in reserved seats. Here's a
Yeah, I've seen the crashes. The crashes are crazy.
It's like the
I mean, I have a pretty decent area by my house that has a really wide straight road for about probably a third of a mile or something.
Sabotage.
Benny, I'm looking at my monitor right now so I can see the picture you're looking at. But I love the Jerusalem cross is there on their head. Look at that. They've got the Jerusalem cross.
Oh, there you go.
Which is what Hegseth has tattooed on him, which is on the
Oh, there's a
floor
tier
of the
11.
National Cathedral. That is a Christian symbol, Benny. They're looking right there. They're calling this a Nazi symbol. That is a Christian symbol, by the way, that was featured on the floor of the National Cathedral during Jimmy Carter's memorial service. These folks are insane.
They're insane. They also dress indistinguishably from Democrat senators themselves.
No, they're not. You know, I mean, you think about a guy like Tim Sheehy, who's used to being in camo and face paint there. I got to say, pretty easy target to identify right there in this bright pink as you walk into a hearing.
So they were allowed to yell and scream, but you're right, they got escorted out pretty quickly. But I assume that, and I know that the Pam Bondi hearing is getting started right back up. I got to ask you about John Ratcliffe at CIA. I know this is a very, very important position.
Right.
Can you please just give us a briefing on that?
Yeah. So I haven't heard of the hearings on Tom Cotton, who chairs the Intelligence Committee, was literally just came from that. He sits next to me on the Energy and Resource Committee. So literally Tom Cotton's my senator that I sit right next to. As I was wrapping up my questions for Chris Wright, Cotton went next. And what he said is, I just came from the Ratcliffe hearing. So I don't have any report on, no read on that one yet. I'm confident that one's going to go well. Tom Cotton is a no-nonsense guy, and if there's any kind of nonsense, he will shut it down. But I feel good about, again, Benny, I feel good about every one of the nominees. I think Hegeseth was the one we were worried about yesterday. And if you had to score,
Jesus Christ! No! They're gonna kill me! They're gonna kill me!
As he went through,
Jesus fucking Christ, bro! That was a lot of them. They pinned me to the wall and slowed. I can't move.
Unscathed on the other side. That's a credit to Pete.
Why am I?
Courage under fire. You can tell the man's been shot at.
Yeah,
and you can tell the man has seen his life flash before his eyes. A man in a war zone and knows how to handle himself. And that's exactly what you want in a Secretary of Defense. It's exactly what we want in the Justice Department. Pam Bondi, the hearing is back on. We thank you, Senator. Everybody go follow.
Yeah, right. I had his
Montana.
I had some of his parts.
That's my famous band Twitter picture.
He put out these limited edition parts. I bought a bunch of them and sold them on eBay. It was a carbon fiber drive shaft for
They said you're shut down for
the Arma. The Arma IndyCar looking thing. I can't remember what it's called.
Shot down him. It's great. That's Eastern Montana. My son-in-law took the picture. Anyway, Elon Musk called me up after a day into this, and he says, Steve, I'm reinstating your Twitter account. And to Elon's credit, he said this: we cannot let coastal elites dictate their values on the rest of America. And I said to Elon, if I was Baptist, I'd scream hallelujah, but I'm Presbyterian, so I'll just say thank you. But anyway, it was great. And I thank Elon for that.
Okay. Really quick follow-up. Does that hang on your wall then? Is this a legendary?
Well, it's back in I keep my smaller mounts in D.C. in my office here. My bigger mounts I keep back in Montana.
Got it. Okay. I think I've seen a couple photos of animal heads being rolled into your office in and out.
Well, it's nothing like making dead things great again on your wall. So
legendary. Senator, thank you so much. Godspeed. Everybody follow Steve Daines on to 100,000 subs for the great senator.
All right, back in.
Thanks,
Limitless shafts, yeah, they were carbon fiber, titanium drive shafts. He sold them for like $75, but they were because they were limited. I think I bought 3 of them. Because they were limited, they sold for like double what they cost.
Let's go.
And
Norgan, Senator Schiff. I'm looking at your next one.
Well, my colleague, Senator Schiff, who I think did an incredibly good job. President Biden had different points, or pardon me, President Trump had different views about that, where he said on a number of occasions that he should be prosecuted. Everybody on the January 6th committee should be prosecuted for their lies and treason. No discussion about that.
No, Senator.
And Liz Cheney also, he's said that she should be prosecuted for lies and treason as well.
We have had no discussions about Liz Cheney.
All right. And you've satisfied me that this is not an agenda you have. President Trump has satisfied.
Funny thing is, it is the agenda. She's going to get these people. The ones that did crimes are going to fucking jail, bro.
I want, and that is to have a Justice Department that is not going after people on the basis
of them being political opponents. And my understanding, in listening to your answers to the questions along this line, is that you have no intention of pursuing people on the basis of them being a political opponent.
No one will be prosecuted, investigated because they are a political opponent. That's what we've seen for the last 4 years in this administration.
Well,
People will be prosecuted based on the facts and the law and fairly,
All right,
Senator.
that's good.
You
I
have my word.
disagree about the characterization of the past 4 years, but we don't have to discuss that with your assurance that the next 4 years there'll be no effort on the part of the Justice Department to pursue political adversaries, right?
Every case will be done on a case-by-case basis. No one should be prosecuted
All right,
for
just
political purposes.
Thank
Absolutely
you. I
not.
just have a couple of other things. One is the False Claims Act. Senator Grassley, thank you for that False Claims Act. In Vermont, there are incredible challenges for folks trying to get health care. It's really expensive. And there was a shocking report in the Wall Street Journal about a major insurer that is ripping off taxpayers by overbilling, overprescribing on Medicare Advantage, billions of dollars. And the report indicated that insurers are adding diagnosis basically to make money, not to help the patient, that insurers sent nurses to find diagnoses that doctors didn't find, that insurers got paid to cover patients who were already getting your coverage through the VA, and it adds up to billions of dollars, and Vermonters are struggling under the weight of incredibly expensive health care. The False Claims Act, Senator Grassley authored, is an area where the Attorney General can protect consumers against ripoffs. I'm not asking you to comment on this particular Wall Street report, but I want your assurance that in addition to fighting crime, and we're all for you doing that, you're going to be there protecting consumers and taxpayers from ripoffs.
Absolutely, Senator. When I was Attorney General, we went after a pharmaceutical company. It was Medicaid fraud. I can't remember the settlement value. It may even be ongoing, but it was a large.
What type of car is it?
Large number.
The RC10. Is it a?
You know, people don't understand that.
Team Losi is known for like short course trucks and buggies and shit, aren't they?
So use that
I don't think I've ever owned a Team Losi car. Actually, I take that back. I had one of their no prep drag cars, but I never even opened it. I ended up selling it for more than I paid for it.
From ripoff charges. Thank you. I yield.
All right, map's clear.
Senator Schmidt.
All right, we need to go around and do all these fucking things. Starting with this. This is an expedition.
Word of those introductory remarks. I have the greatest deal of respect for you, personally and professionally. This is a great pick by President Trump. You're going to do a great job.
Thank you.
I do want to say, though, that it appears as though Trump derangement syndrome is alive and well. The focus of these questions today are disturbing. I don't think my Democrat colleagues learned very much from the November 5th election. The American people rejected all this. Their obsession with President Trump didn't bode well for them electorally, and I think if they stay on this path, they'll be in a permanent minority. But that's up to
112 electoral votes, Senator.
the landslide. But that's up for them. That's up to them to decide.
All right, so we need to hit these in order.
This newfound religion on independence.
Whatever order you hit them in is the order the monsters come up in.
That the last three
So increased rarity of chests, increased quantity of chests. This one, we want this one to go first. I think we can get these two in one.
Politically biased AGs we've had in modern
Where am I getting hit
history in the
from?
United States.
Oh.
And there are some receipts. Eric Holder described himself as Obama's heat shield.
Increased movement, increased speed, avoid being
This
ignited.
committee moved forward, and one of my colleagues referenced that
I'm not
the
hitting
general
that
shouldn't
one.
be the
Fuck
wingman
that.
of the president. Eric Holder's bragged about it. He bragged about it. Loretta Lynch met with Bill Clinton on the tarmac in a private meeting while she was investigating Hillary Clinton. And Merrick Garland probably gets however many
it
gold
won't
stars
let me-
you want to give for the most politicized, weaponized Department of Justice we have ever seen. And I think it's worth
So annoying. This thing is so annoying.
comment on it.
These things, this is another problem they have to fix in the game. Putting these things down is so frustrating. It won't let me put it down because
And the landscape. We've never seen anything like this. And there is a story to be told. The arc of this story begins when Joe Biden gave a speech demonizing half the country, calling them threats to the republic, threats to democracy.
All right, there it is. That's the first one.
And I'm gonna
That'll
do
knock
everything I
out
can to
those
make
two.
sure President Trump ever gets back in the White House. Miraculously, these zombie cases are resurrected.
Quantity
And
of
let's talk about
chess.
a couple of those. You've got, of course, Jack Smith, the overzealous and disgraced special prosecutor who time and time again has been slapped down by courts for overcharging and taking an overtly political position. He, by the
See,
way,
like, it won't even
just
let me
ordered him
place
this week,
whenever. It's
even
fucking
acknowledged
dumb.
that it was unusual for him to be tasked with going after the political opponent of the President of the United States. It didn't stop him, though. The Supreme Court did, thankfully. But you had Jack Smith take on these
man, I'm
unprecedented
gonna have to take
actions.
it.
You had a raid at Mar-a-Lago, staged photos at Mar-a-Lago for boxes of documents, which, by the way, boxes of documents were in Joe Biden's garage from his Senate days. And by the way, somebody who didn't register like you did under FARA, Hunter Biden was staying in. We don't know if he's compromised or not because that investigation was dropped. And give me a break that justice was meted out fairly for Hunter Biden. It wasn't. The Department of Justice went out of its way in documents to try to get him absolved of all, and they got back to the gun charge. But then President Biden did the dirty work himself. It was always going to be Plan B. You had Jonathan Sue,
All right.
Biden's deputy White House counsel.
A lot of monsters are about to come out.
With the DOJ and Jay Bratt on those classified document cases. Matthew Colangelo, who's that? The number 3 guy at DOJ
Oh,
goes
no.
to where?
Trying to kill them before they even come on this
Alvin
fucking
Bragg's
screen.
Alvin Bragg then resurrects a zombie case in lawfare at a local level. Why would the number 3 person go do that? Maybe there was coordination.
Woohoo, that was close.
Maybe there was coordination, by the way, with the number 2 assistant DA in Atlanta in the Fonnie Willis case, who was meeting with the White House. Why would the White House care about a case in Atlanta? Well, the truth is everybody knows it was on full display. This was the worst case of lawfare we've ever seen. If this was happening in another country, our State Department will be warning us about it. It's banana republic stuff. And one of the reasons why I'm so glad that you have been put up and nominated for this position is that I think you have the ability to level set. So when the Democrats ask you questions about your independence, it is beyond ironic that we're sitting here today
Why won't let me pick anything else
of the
up?
lack of independence
Shit.
from
All right,
Merrick
we need to
Garland
go.
and Eric Holder bragging about being Obama's wingman. So I just want to ask you, you've been asked this a bunch of
We
times.
didn't bring
You're
very
gonna
many
make
chests,
decisions, as you
though.
always have, right? On the law. And let investigations go where they're going to go, but they're not politically motivated.
All right.
Correct?
Yes, Senator, based on the
No
law
logbook.
and the facts that apply.
And in my limited time, I do want to give you an opportunity to talk about some of your experience working with law enforcement as Florida's Attorney General. This is something that, as you and I talked about over the years, you were known for this, the collaboration you had. And I think getting the Department of Justice back to its core function of taking on violent crime, protecting the constitutional rights of Americans, but taking on violent crime is really important. And how you went about doing it, you've gotten bipartisan praise for that over the years. You've got the support of all these law enforcement agencies. That's something that you're going to continue and take forward into this office. Is that right?
Yes, Senator. Thank you so much. And I feel like my experience with that goes back to when I was a state prosecutor with state and local, our sheriffs, our police departments, our police chiefs, and then as Attorney General on a statewide basis. And now, if I'm confirmed, all of our federal law enforcement agencies, I would be very proud to supervise those.
I'll just close with this, Mr. Chairman. We heard one of my Democrat colleagues ask you the question that you're not going to pursue a case because of a name, but because of the crime. I would argue that the current Department of Justice adopted Lenin's claim, which was, show me the man and I'll show you the crime. And they did everything they could to throw President Trump in jail for the rest of his life because they didn't want to lose the ballot box. That is not what this country's about. That is not what this republic is about. But they did it. And it's up to you now to restore the integrity, and I have that agency of the Department of Justice, and I have full confidence that you will.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before I begin, just convictions of former President, incoming President Trump were by a jury of his peers. Thank you, Ms. Bondi, for being here today, and I too would like to welcome your family and friends who are here. Appreciate the opportunity to.
All right, map's complete. You gonna start doing rituals?
And discuss a number of issues that are important to me. But I got to tell you, as I reflected on our conversation yesterday, and as I've observed the hearing today, I continue to have significant reservations on your ability to.
Oh, this must be a Democrat,
independent,
which is good. Fuck him. Still coming in.
Let's see, you keep referring to him, your friend, President-elect Trump. So I hope you can address some of these concerns through your responses to my questions here. Now, the first issue area is something that we didn't get a chance to touch on yesterday. So I actually want to follow up on some of Senator Durbin's questions from earlier about the 2020 election.
All right, that one's done.
And to be specific, on the day
all right, there should be 2 more of these on the map. 3 more of these.
Traveled to Philadelphia to appear alongside President Trump's then attorney, Rudy Giuliani. And together, you falsely asserted that President Trump had, quote, won Pennsylvania in that election. Now, I want to be clear, at that moment, there were still at least 1 million ballots left to be counted in Pennsylvania. Of course, President Biden went on to win the state by more than 80,000 votes. But in the fall,
they're so stuck on the 2020 election. They know they cheated, and they know people are about to come after them. It's fucking hilarious.
Election fraud and cheating without offering any actual evidence. And I remember it clearly because I served as California Secretary of State at the time.
This dude's a piece of shit.
Anybody
Just fucking scum of the earth.
Campaign who was making these claims to come forward with evidence of irregularities in the election or massive voter fraud. 4 years later, I still have seen none. So I ask you today, do you have any evidence of election fraud or irregularities in the 2020 election?
So, First Senator.
Yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
First Senator.
Do you have evidence, yes or no?
First Senator. I'm so sorry about the fires to you and Senator Schiff and what you're going through in your states. I have to say that.
I appreciate
think
that.
all
My
of our,
clock is
I'll
ticking,
answer
and I
your
want to
question. All
hear
of our
your
hearts go out to everyone in California for what you're facing right now. I'm glad you asked the question about Pennsylvania. I was
yes or no
hoping
She's stonewalling time. It's fucking hilarious.
Senator, I was hoping you'd ask the question.
Do you have evidence, yes or no?
I traveled to Pennsylvania.
Do you have evidence, yes or no?
Senator, to Pennsylvania.
Okay. You're not answering my question.
What a dick.
I have no evidence to offer. Let me ask you this. Will you now retract your previous statements that Trump won Pennsylvania in the 2020 election? Yes or no?
Oh, Senator, I traveled to Pennsylvania, and let me tell you what I saw firsthand.
Yes or no?
I didn't talk about California because I was not in California. I talked about
yes or no.
I talked about Pennsylvania because
Mr. Chair,
I was there.
I'm going to move on because
You got
you're
a
not
court
answering my
order
questions. And I want to know, colleagues, for everybody, members of the committee and everybody watching, that the attorney who stood beside Mr. Giuliani was making very similar statements. And he has since been disbarred from multiple jurisdictions for making these false claims about the 2020 election in court. And like Mr. Giuliani, as you've noted today,
I don't know where this last one was. I don't like that I can't mark the map, man. I really wish you could mark the fucking map.
And now you're asking,
because I have no idea. Oh, is it right here? Is this it? This is it.
Enforcement officer in our country. So it's imperative, Ms. Bondi, that you subscribe to facts and evidence and not politically convenient conspiracy theories. Your job will be, your job will be to protect voters and election workers, not to undermine and dox them.
I'm dead. Fuck me.
Now, I know that
holy shit, I was stuck.
Joe Biden is in fact president, but many of the president-elect's inner circle continue to spread the big lie about the 2020 election. Let me move on to a different topic.
Senator, you were speaking. May I speak? You cut
When I
me
ask
off
you the
when I
next
was
question,
speaking.
you can speak, and I hope you answer, Ms. Bondi.
Well, I'd
now,
like
when
to
we met
answer the
yesterday,
previous one, Senator.
when we met yesterday,
You pointed your finger at me and
you
said
did not
you were
seem
speaking.
to be familiar
Let me answer
with
my question.
the
I'm not going to be
citizenship
bullied by
clause,
you,
the
Senator
14th
Padilla.
Amendment of the United States of America, which was deeply disappointing.
I guess you
And I'm
didn't want
hoping
to
you're
hear
more
my
familiar with
answer
it
about
today
Pennsylvania.
after I gave an opportunity to study overnight. So can you tell me in this committee what the citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment says?
Senator,
Ooh.
I'm here to
I want
answer
that.
your questions. I'm not here to do your homework and study for you. If I am confirmed as
You're the
Attorney
one
General,
asking for a confirmation,
hey,
though,
you
ma'am.
cut me off. Can I please finish?
What does the 14th Amendment say?
Senator, the 14th Amendment, we all know, addresses birthright citizenship. I've been a state prosecutor. I've been a state AG. I look forward to even given.
We don't need their votes, so it doesn't matter how they fucking talk. It's fucking funny.
California, if I am confirmed as the 87th Attorney General of the United States of America. I didn't take your homework assignment. I'm sorry. I was.
While this item is active in your inventory, right-click this item in your inventory to set it to be active. This item is consumed when triggered. Interesting item.
Of this country and defend the Constitution of the United States. Do you believe birthright citizenship is the law of the land, and will you defend it regardless of a child born in the
Nah, we're gonna end birthright citizenship. That shit has to go. That shit has to go.
I will study birthright citizenship. I would love to meet with you regarding birthright citizenship. Can I answer the
serve as the
question?
Attorney General of the United States, and you still need to study the 14th Amendment of the Constitution? That is not helping me have more confidence in your ability.
Well, we don't need your confidence, you dumb fuck. So it don't fucking matter.
Other immigration-related question, I'll steer clear of the
I have
Constitution
one
and the
regarding
law.
that. I'd like
Senator
I despise these fucking people, man. I hate fucking Democrats.
Can you
Fucking
please tell us,
hate
do
them.
you agree with the statement that immigrants are, quote, poisoning the blood of our country, yes or no?
I did not say that.
Illegal immigrants are poisoning the criminal justice. There's so many fucking crimes, bro. Setting fires and looting people's houses and shit, man. Deport all those fucking people. My wife's from El Salvador. Her family says the same fucking shit. Like, they hate the illegal immigrants, bro, because they just ruins them. Like, it goes after their jobs, it ruins their reputations. Like, fucking hate. They hate it, dude. If you think I'm bad on immigration, they fucking hate it. It is fucking hilarious. It's so much worse than me.
Our country? No, Senator.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I can't wait for the second round.
Same, Senator. Thank you.
Ooh! Oh! Whoa! Unbelievable!
Oh, we got a tier 11.
Savage! Pam
Suggestions
Bondi!
about unfair statements about the 2020 election. I thought I'd remind people that Senator Schumer and former Senator Casey raised questions about the Pennsylvania Senate race just a few months ago. In 2018, numerous Senate Democrats, some of them on this committee, claimed that the Georgia governor's election was stolen. In 2016, Hillary Clinton and a host of Democrats claimed the election was stolen or illegitimate and blamed Russia for the loss. And every one of my Democrat colleagues voted last.
All right, we might die on this. This is a breach map. Shit's gonna get fucking crazy.
He engaged in lengthy litigation regarding his loss of the 2020.
I like stadium trucks. Stadium trucks are fun to drive around.
Until 3 months.
I like short course trucks. I had the Techno 410.3. All right, we're gonna walk into this, and shit's gonna get really wild, really fucking fast.
Attack against the nominee, very partisan. Senator Brett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you so much for being here today. And really glad to see your family. I had the opportunity to help them find where to come back in.
Thank you, Senator.
They are all so excited and rightfully so, and so proud of who you are and the work that you've done. And speaking of, I think it is absolutely, completely ridiculous that anyone on the other side of the aisle would ever say that you are anything but immensely qualified for this job. From your time as a career prosecutor to then a two-time attorney general of the third largest state with regards to all of the people that operated underneath you, with what you were able to achieve. It is truly.
We gotta kind of go fast because we have to hit these portals.
America could only be so fortunate If you were
At least I think. I actually don't really know how to do these maps. I just kind of do what I think I'm supposed to do. I haven't watched too many videos on this game.
That unfortunately has been run into the ground. So I think that is full-on gaslighting, which, by the way, I had to get my children to explain to me what that was. Not only that, but to act like you would be the one that would weaponize the Department of Justice. What I have heard you say time and time and time again is that you will follow the law.
All right. No, that's done.
A side of the aisle.
Well, we got to clear.
The Biden administration, by saying nothing, they've allowed them to go after parents who are at school board meetings who want nothing more than their children to be taught and not indoctrinated. They have allowed them to go after people who are trying to...
Yeah, we got to get Democrat values out of fucking schools.
Idly by
I had to de-indoctrinate my kids after public school. Both hate the Democrats now, which is great. But
and equal justice under the law. So
I had to explain to them like the weaponization of the justice system, the censoring of free speech, like the constant. I had to sit down and break down all that shit. Democrat Party, I think, is gonna have a hard time in the future, man. They really fucking shot themselves in the foot the last 8 years as of right now, but by the time Trump's done, 12 years.
And speaking of, my distinguished colleague, who I have a great deal of respect from on the other side of the aisle, just said, tried to make you answer a question about immigrants.
Oh, God.
And, quote, poisoning the blood of America. When actually the previous question by our colleague from Hawaii was illegal immigration. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. And the lawlessness under the Biden-Harris administration has made every single state in this nation a border state. I am so thrilled about what you've done when it comes to opioid use and human trafficking.
Oh, there we go. Tier 12. That's good. That's good.
Instituting that at the Department of Justice. Your credentials speak for themselves. When opioid and fentanyl overdoses are the leading cause.
I don't get. I'm talking because I'm on stream. Like, I don't really get super wound up from this shit. It's just because I don't want to sit here and just play the game and listen. But I don't. I'm so finished with them that I don't have a lot of constructive things to say about the Democrats. Like, that's gone. That's been gone for years now. I don't give a shit. I just want to see them out of power. I want to see their party annihilated. Like, I don't care anymore. I just want to be done with them.
I say thank you.
Like, they've ruined so much shit in this country, starting with the economy. The last 4 years cost me tens of thousands of dollars more than it should have. Tens of thousands of dollars. I lost more money under the Biden administration than I've lost in my entire fucking life. And that's mainly due to inflation. And inflation, like, I was paying for a kid to go to college through inflation. So my daughter's room and board was 3 times what it cost the people that had gone 2 years prior. Like, it just, fuck the Democrats, bro. I'll vote red down ballot regardless from here on out. Unless the Republicans really fuck up.
Some people call it EOIR, some people call it
I live in a Democrat state, though, so it don't fucking matter. Stupid scumbag Jamie Raskin's here. I also usually don't really talk about politics on stream because I don't like alienating viewers, but I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, the streaming hasn't took off, and I think maybe biting my lip has cost me more viewers than not biting, like, not talking about it has cost me more viewers than if I just talked about it and just brought in more conservatives. Because the fucking conservative commentary channels are fucking popping right now. They're getting tens of thousands of views. Dude, one of my shorts went viral. My burnout short on my car, like, it had like 30 or 40,000 views, and then I think it had hit like 60,000 around September. It just hit 130,000, 150,000 or something, and it's gained like, it's been gaining like 40,000 views a week. Like, it's crazy. I don't know what happened to it.
Having talked to her parents, no parent should have to go through the
All right, we gotta blow these up.
That they have, and we are working diligently to
I think we're gonna wait. I think we're gonna come back and do this because I don't want to die.
Safe and secure. But a House Judiciary Committee report on this issue appropriately called it, quote, quiet amnesty, what we're talking here with Eeyore. Will you commit to me that if confirmed, you will make it a priority to reform the way that Eeyore operates and put in place measures to ensure that immigration judges actually adjudicate these claims and cases?
Yeah, Senator, thank you for meeting with me in advance. And I learned so much from you about this topic. And I look forward to learning more and working with you to do everything we can to make sure that functions properly.
Thank you.
If I am confirmed, Senator.
Thank you. Well, you are going to be confirmed because America needs you. As a part of this effort, I hope that you will consider a number of things, including reinstating the performance metrics for immigration judges, similar to that were in place during the first Trump administration, and a reevaluation of the Biden administration's decisions and policies that have encouraged the use of administrative closures. And I assume I have your commitment to examine those issues thoroughly.
We'll closely examine those, Senator. Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Booker.
Fuck Cory Booker, bro. Piece of shit.
Here we go.
Thank you very much.
Spartacus.
Thank you, Senator.
And
Spartacus.
thank you for being willing to meet with me in my office. I really value
He's
that
a
time
piece
that
of
we
shit.
have
He's one of the
because
biggest
anything that's
scumbags
been
in Congress.
In this hearing thus far,
Ruined
is there
California.
is a
Fucking.
serious crisis of faith in our judicial system in America, and we are at a time where, as Judge Learnhan reminded us in his writings and speeches, that the power of the Constitution is only strong as long as it is believed in and had faith by the American people. And that faith is shaken by so much of the political tumult. And as we have a new administration coming in and a lot of the protestations about retribution or going after political opponents, I know you could expand your empathy enough to understand why there are many that really worry about your independence. But I've heard you over and over again in this hearing, as much as I've tried to focus on it as I've gone back and forth between the Senate Foreign Relations and another Floridian, Marco Rubio. But I am hearing from you that you understand that the Attorney General's guiding star is the U.S. Constitution.
I can't wait till they all realize that she's coming after you fuckers for fucking going after fucking Trump. Everybody that committed a crime on the Democrats is going to see a fucking investigation.
Should you be confirmed, understand.
And she will be confirmed because Democrats don't have a vote in it.
And not just
All of the guys are going to, everyone's going to get confirmed. The only people that are questionable are Tulsi Gabbard and RFK because they were Democrats that don't know how much Republican support they have, but hopefully they have a lot. Tulsi Gabbard especially.
Long remember what any of us individually do here, but for the sake of our democracy, what you do to restore and repair the American faith, whether they be Democrats, Independents, or Republicans, is vital. I want to switch here to say publicly that when Donald Trump appointed Craig Carpenito as the U.S. Attorney in New Jersey was over the objections of myself and then Senator Menendez. I was wrong in my anticipation that he would not do good things in our state. He partnered with local leaders like those in Newark, New Jersey, to dramatically drive down crime. He was good for the safety of the city in which I live and the one that I led. Part of his strategy was to focus his resources on the most violent criminals. But that also meant...
Wait, that might not be Cory Booker then. I thought it was, but it might not be. I can't see it. I'm only listening. So.
With that of local leaders, and was able to create historic drops in our murder rate. You know, through your experience, and you're intimately familiar, that enforcement decisions prosecutors must make every day, which charge to bring, which plea deal to offer, or what sentencing recommendation it makes, it's very important that local prosecutors understand that. Given this enormous discretion our legal system gives them, that they are best determined to make decisions about public safety. I'm very
Put it on full screen. It's been entertaining. I mean, if y'all want me to make it bigger, I can. It's gonna cover up the character in the middle of the screen. That's why I didn't make it any bigger.
Prosecutors who exercise that prosecutorial discretion. As Attorney General, will you commit to respecting the autonomy of state and local?
The crazy thing is, I used to hate politics, but now I find it very entertaining. I don't think politics was like this back in the day. I don't think it was nearly this entertaining.
And if confirmed as Attorney
I think
General,
the fact that, you know,
I will
both sides want to
continue
kill each
to do
other
that. They serve
is
a
just
vital
why it's so
function
entertaining.
in our justice system.
And you understand, like,
Where the fuck is
in
this
my
guy at? Oh, he's
state,
way down
sometimes
there.
they'll
Holy
decide
shit.
not to go after certain low-level offenses in order to use their scarce resources to focus on the strategy of pursuing more dangerous people.
Yes, Senator, I completely understand.
And those decisions shouldn't be politicized if they're part of a larger public safety strategy.
No, Senator. When I was a state prosecutor, we used to sit down with the U.S. attorneys and talk about cases and work together. And that's what I'm discussing about bringing back the cooperation between state and local
Thank you,
government.
Ms. Bond. I just want to continue. One of the most stunning hypocrisies I've found since I've been down here in Washington is every politician gives lip service to driving down gun violence. But the very federal authority, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, that is primarily focused on enforcing America's gun laws and keeping people safe is hamstrung by federal leaders. The ATF's core responsibilities.
The ATF needs to be abolished. Is this guy a fucking... I don't think he's a Republican.
I'm stunned at how they have been stripped of.
Oh, it is Cory Booker. He's New Jersey. I thought he was California. This dude's a piece of shit. Fuck him.
Go after illegal gun running. When I was mayor of the city,
Oh, sorry, I paused
one
it.
gun crime that was done with a legally purchased gun. But when I turned to the ATF leader at that time told me in private, we don't have the resources, support, or legal ability to go after these crimes.
No, because they're going to go after Americans. Don't give them any power. Yeah, Canadian politics is super interesting, too. Paul Pierre about to be fucking prime minister.
Red counties to blue cities.
Yeah, their politics is, because he resigned, has almost become as interesting as ours. Like, Trump made that motherfucker resign, bro. He met with Trump and then resigned. Like, he knew he was
Senator,
fucked.
I will do everything in my power to prevent illegal gun runners in our country.
It's funny, it's all it took for Trump to knock a fucking prime minister out of power. Need to do Britain now. The raping of the kids over there is fucking crazy.
Illegal gun runners.
And I don't know if TKE is here, man, but fucking Islam has a fucking kid raping problem. It's fucking disgusting.
Federal law enforcement officers. It was approved by the heads of the DEA.
I try not to knock religions too much, man, but that shit is disgusting. I don't know enough about it, but the fact that they're letting it happen, that Keir Steimer, the prime minister, should be dragged through the fucking streets.
Having their rights violated. It was also endorsed by the Fraternal Order of Police and NAPO, the National Association of Police.
Letting kid, dude, I would be, if somebody did that to my kid, if somebody raped my kid, let's just use them as an example. So it's apparently a Pakistani problem. I killed her entire fucking family. I don't give a fuck.
And consult with law enforcement. Absolutely.
Hopefully I don't get banned for saying that, but I mean, it's just like, you rape my kid, you're dying, bro. It's the end of the story. There's no...
Maybe more of your
I don't care if I go to jail. Fucking.
And then I will also say, it's my last question because I see my time has run out, and I look forward to a second round. The DOJ issued a policy regarding chokeholds, which limited the use of no-knock warrants and chokeholds. It's worth noting that Florida has outlawed no-knock.
We'll be back ASAP.
Since 1994. Would you commit to continuing the 2021 DOJ policy on these issues?
I'm familiar with the policy. I have not read it. I'm committed to reading it and studying it and reporting back to you on that policy once again.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Senator Hawley.
Thank you very much.
This is
Mr.
a Republican,
Chairman.
I think.
Ms. Bondi, welcome. Congratulations on your nomination. I'm so glad that you've
Here
been
we go,
nominated,
baby.
as we discussed when we had the chance to meet.
Thank
It
you.
was a pleasure to work
Let's
with you
go.
as the State Attorney General for a number of years, and I'm delighted to see you here today before the committee. I look
Yeah, I
forward
like
to
him. He's a good...
confirmation. You will be confirmed.
This guy's good.
I, too, have taken note of the number of times you have been asked about weaponization of the Department of Justice as if it was a theoretical possibility that might happen in the future. One of my colleagues on the other side said, weaponization may well occur under your tenure. We all know that weaponization has occurred like we've never seen before in American history under this administration. And I want to get even more specific. In the last 4 years, this administration has carried out an unprecedented attack and campaign against people of faith. If you look at the numbers, we've never seen anything like it before in American history. It has been one of the most disgraceful chapters.
Quantity
in the
of
history
log
the
books.
Justice
This is
Department
number
and in
one.
the history of the FBI.
Because this is what we need.
And
We
I
need
hope
log
that
books.
You will reverse this and do right by every American citizen, including especially people of faith. Let me give you some specifics. After the Dobbs case was decided by the Supreme Court, over 100 pregnancy care centers and over 300 churches in this country
Quantity
were
of
attacked,
artifacts found.
vandalized, firebombed.
Oh no.
Do you happen to know off the top of your
Oh
head
no.
how
Monsters
many
are immune to physical. Oh, we're so
Merrick
fucked.
Garland's Justice Department
I think we do
brought
fire
in drug
damage,
cases?
but I didn't read that before I clicked on it.
It's a, it's
That's going to be a problem.
Two.
I
Hundreds of
think next one's
churches,
going to be this one.
hundreds of pregnancy care centers, and I might just add, these pregnancy care centers, the attacks on them, which were violent, which were gruesome, were
Oh no,
egged
that's a
on and
lot. I think we're just
encouraged
going
by
to...
rhetoric
I want the...
from members of Congress, including members of this body, who have said that pregnancy care centers aren't real medicine, that they're not real doctors. They have legitimized these attacks, and the same thing was true of churches.
This is what...
And
Oh
this
man, it's so
Justice
annoying.
Department couldn't lift a finger to defend these Americans, but at the same time, they used legislation, a law known as the FACE Act, to prosecute at least 53 different pro-life demonstrators, including people like Mark Houck from Pennsylvania, to whom this Justice Department sent a SWAT team to his door in the early morning hours. He has, I think, 7 children. In the early morning hours, an FBI SWAT team shows up at his door to take him into custody and prosecute him. By the way, he was acquitted. This kind of outrageous, disparate treatment has to end. So here's my question to you. Will you protect churches and pregnancy care centers when they are targeted for violence, when they are targeted for intimidation,
What is hitting
when
me?
their members or parishioners are threatened with violence or other acts?
Something's shooting ice at me.
Yes, Senator.
Will you stop the disparate treatment of Americans on the basis of religious faith?
Yes, Senator.
Will you stop the deliberate persecution of pro-life Americans for nothing more than their pro-life beliefs?
Yes, Senator.
Will you ensure that nothing like the Mark Houck case happens again, that Americans do not have SWAT teams arriving on their front doors with armed weapons to terrorize their children and their spouses, only in the end, of course, to have the case lost because there was nothing to it? Will you put an end to that kind of deliberate intimidation of the good American citizens on the basis of
All right, I think we're done. I think we cleared them all.
I'm glad to hear you say that because we need it. We need it. Ms. Bondi, we need a new chapter at the Justice Department, and we need it quickly. And I'm glad you're committed to it. Now, I also have heard you've been asked about your comment that you thought that in some cases we need to investigate the investigators, the ones who were bad. You know, I have to say I'm glad to hear you stand by that. We need to do that. You need to do that. And I'll give you another example. I'm sure you read about this memo, which I now hold in my hands. This memo that was developed by the FBI field office in Richmond, Virginia, 2013
Oh, shit.
2023, targeting Catholic parishes.
He's going to go in on them.
Spying, for recruitment of infiltrators. I mean, the memo goes on and on and on about the FBI's plans to put assets into Catholic parishes, into choirs. This is an unbelievable assault on Americans' First Amendment rights, and we only know of it because of a brave whistleblower who came forward and released it to us. And I will tell you, I have never been misled and lied to like I was by the current Attorney General and the now former FBI director when they sat right where you're sitting now and told this committee, oh, we don't know anything about it. Oh, only one field office was involved. It was the single...
Ooh, fire resistance. We need that. That belt is staying. That might be help us switch our gear.
Multiple field offices were involved. Multiple individuals
That's
were
good.
involved. Under your leadership, will you put a stop to the use of FBI or Department of Justice resources to try and recruit informants and spies into Christian churches or any church or house of worship in this country on the basis of nothing?
Who told you that NVIDIA's creating GPUs that don't require you to get bent over? The 5090 is $1,999, a $500 increase. The fucking 5080 is going to be $1,299, a $300. Like they're definitely, the pricing is definitely high, bro. Then maybe some of the lower end.
Worst abuses of Department of Justice and FBI authority in our history. Will you conduct an investigation to find out who signed off on this, who approved it, who advocated for it, within the Department of Justice, will you open the books on these abuses so that the American people can have confidence in their DOJ?
Senator, and I think what you're
I
talking
hate
about
articles
is the
like this. They
ultimate
want you to look at individual
weaponization
guides
we've
for
been
each price.
discussing all
Fuck that.
day. If I'm confirmed as Attorney General, one of the first things I will do, there'll be many.
They
but
released
I
the
will
prices. What's the prices?
read that
Yes.
memo.
Oh no, 5080 is $9.99. So it is the 5080 is a little cheaper, but the 4090, the 5090 is more expensive.
This committee and our relevant
So NVIDIA announced their...
I don't want to watch a video, man. Nobody has just an article with the fucking prices.
What happened here at the FBI and the DOJ? Will you work with us as you discover?
I can't believe there's no basic article with just the fucking prices. Like,
make sure the American people get all the facts and this never happens again.
And Senator, yes, I look forward to working with you.
there
and
we go.
Democrats. I would
$19.99, so $500 increase for a 5090. $9.99, $300 decrease for a 5080. $749, same price for a 5070. $549. But a 5070, a $549, that'll run most shit, and probably in 4K. I mean, maybe not in 4K, but it will run most shit. I don't know. 4K still even hits my 4090 hard. So.
Repeatedly gone after conservative and religious organizations, called them hate groups, called them sometimes terrorist groups. They're cited in this memo. They once infamously, the SPLC called the Family Research Council a terrorist hate group, and an armed gunman came into their lobby and opened fire. Will you put a stop to the use of the SPLC as an official source for any Department of Justice memorandum or finding?
That will be one of the first things we will look at as well, Senator, and report back to you and the committee.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Congratulate, because they know she's getting approved. There's nothing Democrats can do. It's fucking hilarious. I love it.
Ms. Bondi, as you know,
Fuck 'em.
the Supreme Court in Trump versus
Here we
United
go.
States held the president has absolute immunity to commit crimes in certain core areas of the president's responsibility. One of those core areas is the Justice Department. So in a breathtakingly dangerous and irresponsible decision, Justice Roberts and the majority held the president could commit crimes using the Department of Justice and be immune from prosecution. Justice Sotomayor correctly said this new immunity lies about like a loaded weapon. So the fear and the concern we have is that the incoming president will use that loaded weapon.
You know why he fears that? Because he is one of the people that caused
to
it.
the Department of Justice, and for that reason, it is all the more important that we have an attorney general who has the independence, the strength, the intestinal fortitude to say no to the president when it is necessary. So my first set of questions has to
Yeah, I like watching people get grilled. I do too. I like watching the responses too. When they have, because it's not court, so they can be a smart ass. It's fucking funny.
You can say this is hypothetical.
All right,
but
guys,
it's
I'm
not
getting a sore throat. I'm gonna go down and grab a drink
So
real
let me
quick. I'll be
start
right
with
back.
one very specific,
Oh, getting up's gonna be fun.
non-hypothetical. The president has said Jack Smith should go to jail. Will you investigate Jack Smith?
Oh, that fucking hurts.
Senator, I haven't seen the file. I haven't seen the investigation. I haven't looked at anything. It would be irresponsible of me to make a commitment regarding anything without you're a long practicing attorney without looking at a file.
So you would need a factual predicate to open an investigation of Jack Smith, is that
Not
right?
a summary by you sitting here. Yes, sir.
And not a summary by the president either, right?
Absolutely.
So a summary by the president or his desire to investigate Jack Smith would not be enough for you to open an investigation of Jack Smith, is that right?
I will look at the facts and evidence in any case. You know,
and sitting here,
72%,
sitting here today,
Senator, 72% of Americans
I only have 7
lost
minutes.
faith in the Department of Justice.
Sitting here today,
this.
are you aware of any factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Sitting here today, yes or no?
Senator, I will look at the facts and the circumstances.
You can't
of
answer that
anything
question.
that's brought to me.
You're not a part of the department yet. There's no worry about divulging
I'm sitting
law
here as a
enforcement
nominee.
sensitive information. So just tell us,
I'm
are you
sitting here
aware?
as a nominee.
Just tell us, are you aware of a factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Yes or no?
Senator, what I'm hearing on the news
Are
is
you aware of
horrible.
a?
Do I know if he
seem
committed a crime?
reluctant.
I have not.
You seem reluctant to answer a simple question. Let me ask you a different simple question. The president also wants to jail Liz Cheney. Sitting here today, are you aware of any factual basis to investigate Liz Cheney? Yes or no?
Senator, that's a hypothetical, and I'm not going to answer that
No,
question.
it's not hypothetical. I'm asking you, sitting here today, whether you are aware of a factual predicate to investigate Liz Cheney.
Senator, no one
Based
has
on what
asked
you
me
know.
to investigate Liz Cheney. That is a
The
hypothetical.
president has called for it publicly. You are aware of that, aren't you?
No one has asked me to investigate.
But the president
Liz.
has
We're
called-
also
the
worried about
president-
Liz Cheney,
the
Senator.
president has
You know what
called
we
for
should
this-
be worried about?
Ms. Bondi,
the
please
crime rate
answer
in
my
California
questions.
right now
You
is
are
through
aware,
the roof.
Ms. Bondi,
Your robberies
Ms.
are
Bondi,
87%
my
higher
question-
than the
my
national
question
average.
is this.
That's what I
My
want to
question
be
is this.
focused on, Senator.
Do you have the
If I'm
power to
confirmed
say
as
no to the
Attorney
president?
General.
And what you're suggesting today by your non-answer is you don't have the independence to say no to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It also requires you, if you're going to be a good
I mean, if you're running 1080p or 1440p, the 5070 will be fine. 4K, 5080, 5090 is going to be overkill for pretty much everything.
So let me start with an easy truth that you could speak to the president. Can you tell us, can you tell him that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? Can you say that? Do you have the independence to say that? Do you have the gravitas, the stature, the intestinal fortitude to say, Donald Trump, you lost the 2020 election? Can you tell us that here today?
Senator,
Don't
what
tell
I can
him.
tell you is I will never play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I
No,
won't
I'm just
do it.
asking you a simple
I
question.
won't play
If you can
politics
speak truth
with any
to
ongoing
power. So let me ask you
investigation,
another.
like you did
let
leaking
me-
your
let me ask
colleague
you-
Devin Nunes's memo.
If you can't answer the question, let me ask you a different, should be a simple truth, not a hard one.
She just called him
Was
out.
there massive fraud affecting the result of the 2020 election? Yes or no?
Senator, I'm glad you asked that question. If you'll let me answer what I saw in Pennsylvania.
No, I asked a simple question about massive fraud.
I can only tell you what I saw in
No, I
Pennsylvania.
know you want to answer a different question, but my question is, can you tell us whether there was massive fraud affecting the results of the 2020 election? Yes or no? Was there
I
or
can
was there
tell
not?
you what I saw when I went
That's
as an
not my
advocate
that's
to
not
the
my
campaign.
question. So you can't answer that question. You can't speak that
They
even
won't let her
easy
answer.
truth to us, let alone to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It will also be important that you give good advice to the president. Are you prepared to advise the president not to pardon people who beat police officers?
Senator, as I said, the pardons are at the direction of the president. We will look and we will advise. I will look at every case on a
Okay,
case.
so you
Let me
look at-
finish. On a case-by-case
Okay,
basis.
okay, good.
And I abhor violence to police officers.
Follow up with that. So will it be your advice to the president, Mr. President? I know you said you want to issue hundreds of pardons on day one. Will it be your advice to the president? No, Mr. President, I need to go over them on a case-by-case basis. Do not issue blanket pardons. Will that be your advice to the president?
Senator, I have not looked at any of those files. If confirmed, I will look at the files
And
for
will
the
you be able
pardons,
to
as well
will
as
you
the
be able to
ongoing
review
investigation.
hundreds of cases on day one?
I will look at every file I am
Of course
asked
you
to
won't.
look
So
at.
will you advise the
Hey,
president?
can I
will
answer
you-
the question?
Well, my question
I would
is,
have plenty of staff. You said, of course you want.
you'll be able to review
Listen, I'm
hundreds
not
of
going to
cases on the first day?
mislead this body nor you.
All right, let me ask another question. You don't want to answer that. Let me ask
You were
another question.
censured by
It will
Congress,
also-
Senator, for
it will
comments just
also-
like this that
it
are
will
so
also it will also be important for you to be able to preserve the records.
He's censored in
He's
censored in Congress. He's not even allowed to talk because he's a piece of
None
shit.
of the evidence in the January 6th investigation will be destroyed under your watch.
Senator, I will follow the law. I will consult with ethical officials in the
Do you
department.
see any ethical basis to destroy evidence in the January 6th investigation? Then why can't you answer the question? Why can't you say, I commit to this committee, we will never destroy the evidence in the January 6th investigation? Why can't you give
Wait,
this
they
committee and
destroy-
people that assurance?
Are you frightened because evidence was destroyed against President Trump that was false? Is that why you're
Why do
frightened
you
now?
have
I can't
difficulty?
believe this is even.
Why do you have difficulty answering that question?
I can't believe
Why
you're
do you have
asking such a
difficulty?
question.
Why do you have difficulty promising to preserve evidence at the Department of Justice? Why is that a difficult question?
I will follow the law.
It shouldn't be a difficult question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Bundy, I know that you are pleased that we are to the end of round one.
Oh,
And
that's
we
amazing.
appreciate your being here, and I
Just.
appreciate that you told my California colleagues you
I thought
were
I killed
willing
this
to
bitch. I don't know why she says she's still there.
them, even in light of the manner in which they have approached you. Now, one thing I think we need to have everybody understand that is watching this hearing today and everyone sitting in here what we have witnessed over the last 4 years with a weaponized DOJ. My colleagues have talked about this, and the American people know this. They know what was carried out against President Trump and his administration, and in November, they voted to see an end to 2 tiers of justice, 2 tiers of treatment, 2 tiers of access, because they have absolutely had it with the lies, with the accusations, and with the attacks that have come against so many people who were just seeking to live their lives. And then all of a sudden found the FBI or another federal agency or the DOJ knocking at their door. You know, Ms. Bondi, it would make you believe that my colleagues have learned nothing from the elections in November. They don't see this as a movie script that someone may have liked to write. What they see is this is real life. And they want a restoration to equal justice, equal access, equal treatment, abiding by the rule of law. Many of us have talked today about making America safe again. And in Tennessee, I hear a good bit about this. And as we've discussed your nomination, one of the things I've mentioned to people is your career as a prosecutor. And you have touched on that some today. And you are bringing that insight of being a prosecutor to bear. And I do
Where the fuck is this witch
appreciate
at?
that. Now, one thing that I think is noteworthy, and in preparation for the hearing, I looked some of these numbers up. During President Trump's first term, violent crime in this country actually fell. It fell by 17%. And in the first 2 years of the Biden administration, it soared by 43%. This is crime that is taking place in all of our communities. We've seen a rise, whether it's California or Tennessee. We have seen a rise. So I want you to talk to Tennesseans, to Californians, to all Americans about what you're going to do to get this crime rate down in this country.
Senator, thank you for that question. And despite the questions from Senator Schiff, I look forward to working with you and the state of California to do everything we can to fight violent crime in California. And you know as well as I, that crime is only going to go through the roof now after these forest fires. You're going to have looting. You're going to have price gouging. You're going to have so many things that I have dealt with in the state of Florida, and I am committed to working with California just as much as I am committed to working with you, Senator Kennedy, in the tragedy that just took place in Louisiana, given all the human beings that were murdered in your state. And we have the Super Bowl coming up in less than 3 weeks now, I believe, Senator. I've been a little busy. But we've got to ensure, if I'm confirmed, that everyone in this country is safe. And I will work with you. I will work with you, Senator. I will work with all of you in this country. For everything that Senator Blackburn said, we have got to reduce violent crime, and we have got to restore integrity to our law enforcement officers. Donald Trump, we keep saying he won this election by 77.3 million votes and 312 electoral votes. Look at the map of California, Senator Schiff. It's bright red, the popular vote, for a reason. People want law and order. They want to be safe so they can go to take their children to school, so they can go to church, Senator Hawley. People want safe streets. Of course we care about our economy and what's happening in this world. But if we're not safe, none of that works. We have got to come together. We have got to work together
Where
to
the
make
fuck is
America
this witch
safe
at?
again. And that,
The
in
hell?
turn, will make America great again. And I don't know where that phrase has become a bad word, because I think that's a great one. Making America great again.
Let me move on with you to something else that's about law and order, and that is Section 1507.
I don't know where the switch is.
Because making certain that our justices are protected is important, and we also,
Thought she was
with our
off to the
judges,
top
Section
corner. Maybe she's in
1507
the
makes
middle.
illegal any protest outside of the judge's residence if the intent is to influence the judge's decision making. And we have heard about the protest outside of justices' homes where they were shouting loud and clear things like, and I'm quoting some of that, "If you take away our choices, we will riot," end quote. Another one, "No privacy for us, no peace for you," end quote. In other words, if the justices did not vote to uphold Roe and Casey, the protesters would continue to harass them. Despite this clear violation of the law, Merrick Garland did not bring a single charge, not one single charge, under Section 1507. Will you commit to faithfully enforcing Section 1507 as Attorney General?
I will faithfully enforce that law and all laws that I am asked to review. And Senator, I watched that on TV and it horrified me. The protesters outside their houses. You can't do that for a reason, because our justices have to remain safe and unbiased and protected from threats, as do we all. But they do enjoy a special protection. And yes, that should be enforced.
And thank you, Ms. Bondi. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We'll now have our second round that I announced earlier. We'll each have 4 minutes. When we were talking in my office, I brought up the importance of your listening to
The hell is this fucking witch at?
And about 30 or 35 investigations I've got underway of the executive branch, and not just because of a Democrat president. Some of them are probably carryovers from Republican presidents. It's very important that the executive branch understand the cooperation that you must have with us to carry out our responsibilities, see that the president faithfully executes the laws. And I think that too often whistleblowers, being patriotic people they are, wanting government to do what government's just supposed to do, and find something wrong, they want to report it.
Here we go.
And they want to report it within the agency. They don't come to Congress unless they don't get any help in the executive branch. It seems to me that it's very important that you respect whistleblowers, but I've seen them treated like a skunk at a picnic by the agency they're in. I've seen them ruin themselves professionally. I see themselves. One time an FBI agent came to me, was escorted out of headquarters with his gun and badge taken away from him. Just
all right,
because.
Let's see if it cleared it. I don't know if it's going to clear it or not.
Using science to make sure that crime was actually committed. So now we have a new $40 million science lab, so that people are.
I think it's still going to be there.
Their constitutional rights. So will you protect whistleblowers from retaliation and promote a culture? And I think that last thing, promote a culture, is more important. That values the important contribution of whistleblowers.
Yes, and Senator, I think so people fully understand the importance of whistleblowers. They have to be able to tell the truth and come forward without fear of retaliation. And that's the purpose of the whistleblower statute.
And when there's retaliation, the taxpayers' money's paying for that retaliation.
Still there. See, it's not fucking clearing. All right.
The Biden.
All right, we're gonna run one more, guys, and I'm gonna have to take a break, man. My back's starting to fucking hurt.
Charging mandatory minimums and ignore laws setting penalties on drug type. It also allowed folks to pay civil and criminal fines to politicize non-government organizations instead of the government treasury.
All right,
I
let's
put together
run
a list of their
12.
guidance. I find it very concerning. and unfair to the taxpaying public. And I'd like to have you review those policies very soon after you're confirmed.
Absolutely, Senator.
In regard to antitrust, enforcing antitrust laws is extremely important to ensure that markets are fair and that consumers are protected.
Wow.
I've been active in making sure that the Justice Department and the FTC carefully scrutinize mergers and that they look out for anti-competitive behavior and predatory practices. I keep a close eye on these issues as they impact my state of Iowa, and particularly agriculture, healthcare, and technology industries. And I'm interested in your commitment to make antitrust enforcement a priority.
Antitrust enforcement was a priority when I was a state AG, and it will be a priority if I am confirmed as Attorney General. And again, I am so proud.
This is a breach. This might go poorly.
Handling that.
It's 2 levels higher than the last breach we did.
Loved by both sides.
I haven't got the breaches down yet. Sometimes the monsters come so fucking fast you can't do anything.
The Civil Rights Division in your
It's going to be a ham breach at least. That way I don't have to do it at the beginning of the level.
Laws against race and sex discrimination. But under the Biden administration, the Justice Department has arguably promoted discrimination and turned a blind eye to racist hiring practices. Do you agree that race and sex discrimination by employers is illegal, even if the discrimination is called diversity or equity?
No one should be discriminated against.
Go ahead. I'm done.
You owe me 44 seconds. Ms. Bondi, I'd like to say something, and I hope you agree with it. Violence is never acceptable when it comes to political expression. Period.
I think I said that initially. Yes, I do agree. Of course I agree.
I abhor that sort of thing happening when it comes to conservative Supreme Court justices, and I abhor it when it comes to Nancy Pelosi's husband being attacked in his home.
That was horrible.
Which we should all say unequivocally both are unacceptable. I think you agree, correct?
Horrible.
All right. I guess as I reflect on what you said today, a couple things.
He fucking just sucked all my mana out.
I did not expect you to be as outspoken as you are about Kash Patel. He's been characterized as a professional career defense attorney and a career prosecutor. That's a pretty amazing achievement in his life. But he also has said and done some things which are impossible to understand.
Don't matter. He's still getting confirmed.
For example, are you familiar with something called the QAnon conspiracy?
I have heard of it, but I do not know what it is, but I've heard of it many times, Senator.
So let me tell you what I've learned about it. Its core belief is that a cabal of satanic, cannibalistic child molesters are embedded within our government and are conspiring against President-elect Trump. They asked Mr. Patel about it, and he said, quote, "I agree with a lot that the movement says," end of quote.
Don't answer. This is a hypothetical.
Does that sound like a good preparation to run the FBI?
Senator, I don't know anything about... I had heard of QAnon, but I've never heard that definition attached to it at all. You're going to have to ask Mr. Patel about those statements.
We will. And I'll tell you, until we get answers to those questions, I don't know many people on this side of the table will give him an unequivocal endorsement. This and his enemies list, what he calls his government gangsters, this is what you expect of Stasi. This is what you expect of secret police. It is not what you expect of justice in America, as you've even described it at the table today. So I would say this unequivocal support of Mr. Patel should at least have some reservation until he explains some of these outrageous positions he has taken.
I look forward to hearing his testimony about QAnon in front of this committee.
You will. Let me say another word about...
she knows exactly what QAnon is. Everybody knows. There's a goddamn documentary about it on Netflix.
We lived through it, many of us. We'll never forget it. To think that the United States of America's Capitol building was desecrated by an insurrectionist mob that came in and
pardon all of them,
particularly to our police force that keeps you safe as you sit there and keeps us safe every single day. Over over 100 of them were attacked by these demonstrators. One, Kenneth Bonowitz, a member of the
I don't. If I let my kids, first off, I don't have kids. I have adults, so they're not exactly small. If I let my kid walk on my back right now, it would probably break my back. I think I have a herniated disc. I'm not positive. Like, I know a few people that have had them, and they seem to think the pain's kind of the same. Because when I lay perfectly flat on something hard, it kind of goes away. When I lay on my mattress flat and I sink in, it fucking hurts like crazy. That's why I have to sleep sitting up. And I can't sleep on the hard floor, I can't. But fucking, so some people have told me that it kind of sounds like a herniated disc. Yeah, definitely not letting my kids walk on it. I would never get up. I would be dead.
He said that the pardon should not be extended to those who were guilty of violence against policemen.
Yeah, and Senator, I do not
here's the breach.
agree with violence against anyone, but especially police officers. And every time I've been walking through these halls, meeting with all of you, the men and women of the Capitol Police Department are incredible. They do a great job. They deserve to be safe. And
that was a lot here.
I do not agree with violence against any police officer.
I would hope.
I never have, Senator.
Oh shit! We just opened it. I was trying to. I was trying to fucking.
You will speak up at some point on behalf of these
see the info over top of it, but I was gonna use. Oh shit! I was gonna use
I want to enter into the record
an orb on it to make it stronger, but fuck. Sorry, I'm dying right now. Lightning's fucking me up for some reason. I don't understand why lightning's fucking me up really bad all of a sudden. I have the same resistance as I've had for a couple weeks now. Like, I've had the same gear for like 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm dead. The lightning is just so much. So fucking stupid. Alright. I don't think I'm gonna run anymore. I need to go eat some food. I need to go lay down for a little bit. Let my back fucking rest. So the goal.
You didn't miss anything.
I guess I won't mute it. The goal right now is to stream every day, just kind of limit my hours to like 2 or 3 hours instead of 5 or 6. So we'll be on tomorrow from the same time, like 11 to whatever. I'm gonna lay down for a little while, eat lunch. If I feel like I can sit back in my chair for an extended period of time, then I'll come back and sit here. But yeah, I'm gonna hop out of here for right now. I will definitely be on tomorrow. I look forward to getting back to full time, but until then, we just gotta kind of play it by ear, guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna go rest my back for a little bit. I'm gonna go eat some food. Might be back on this afternoon, might not. I just don't know. So, all right, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Sorry I've been going for so long. Hopefully this clears up and we can get back to the normal schedule. All right, guys, y'all have a good day, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Deciding the outcome in a Senate hearing. That's all I'm asking. That's what I would want if I represented somebody. I'd want at least to be heard. Now, Section 230, are you familiar with it?
Yes, Senator.
One thing that unites this committee is protecting children and society at large from social media abuse. We passed online privacy legislation. Senator Durbin's been great to work with. Everybody, Klobuchar, we're all trying to find out how to empower